see Oscar. Hi, Oscar.
Hi, Oscar. I'll share screen.
Hi, Oscar. Welcome back today.
Oscar, you're a brat.
Do you see better? No, same thing.
Same.
Same. It's all good. We'll just have to roll with it. Okay. Welcome, everyone. And want to welcome our Clearwater team from coming up. We have actually Tallahassee unexpected. So we have Dalila and Eddie. How do you feel about that in Tally? They defected. Like, how do you feel right now? Do you feel betrayed over there?
Pretty betrayed, honestly.
Yeah, it's hurtful.
Like 1 to 10, betrayal level. How do you feel?
11.
A good 7.
Wow. Okay. I want to welcome Clearwater coming up, Tally coming down, Gainesville coming over with Giovanni. We've got some virtual prep from Gainesville as well. We've got the pilot, and we have the Tallahassee hub. So welcome. First of all, as always, 100% engaged. And I think what's really important for this prep is I hope we're beyond the point of personal clarity. And I think at the December prep, that's where you really have to think, okay, what did I sign up for? Am I really ready for this? At this point, and appropriately so, this is really where we get down to business. Okay, so for lack of a better term, if at this point we're concerned about commitment, we're concerned about people following through, we have some issues. And we do have some of those issues. Like every year with every branch class, whether we're deploying 10 offices and there's always 1 or 2 that kind of what's going on, or maybe 1, let's say, or you're like Florida United and we're deploying 25 offices. Almost 30, and we will be 30 deep as the United from Florida, the Caribbean with our Puerto Rico office, and all up and down the East Coast from Virginia down all the way through parts of Florida and Georgia. So with that being said, there's always going to be some fallout. There are always people who will surprise you. But you see, it's about being and holding the path, if you will. Okay? So really what I'm trying to say is if you're at this meeting and you're virtually on, that means you're a big key player in the future what happens here. So if this is a matter of commitment, bless you, if there are issues with commitment, and if you're going to be here and wondering what you're going to get, then that's something to reevaluate. But what I love about A squad is that the term is appropriately so. A squad, a player, a commitment, and that's what gets really exciting. So as you know, circles of influence are going to be really important today. So make sure you're continuing to surround yourself with committed people, with people who are excited. Even within the branch class A squad community, there are people, and I put this in my journal this morning, there are still people who are the Debbie Downers of even the A squad, right? So you have the people you probably don't want to associate with as much, or let's just say circle of influence isn't so hot in TLA. Okay, those people usually don't get to this point, at least, right? To be in a position where, believe it or not, within 6-7 days, we're going to be announcing first round of territories. Believe it or not. Yesterday, 3 DOM official announcements were made, which we'll talk about later. Last week, 5 district manager territories were given already, and several of you are here, 4 of you. Believe it or not. And those people don't make it to this point. But even within our community, be wary of the low thinkers, even here. Be wary of the not as prepareders. I know, it's not. Be wary of the not A-player preparationers. I'm just going to keep on there. Be wary of the individuals who talk a good game and feel that because I got the territory, I have arrivers. Be wary of the individuals who, oh, I've already been there, done that, and therefore I don't have to put as much into it, Okay, even within this community, and separate yourself. And even if that means you have to run the ship on your own, be aware of that. So we'll do a quick lightning round, and we'll do what's hot, what do you appreciate. We'll start live over here, and we'll start with Ms. Rhiannon. We'll go around all the way, and we'll end up with Mr. Carlos. So we'll go virtually. Ms. Rhea, you're up.
What's hot is since I now have my district territory, so I'm super comfortable with that, and I appreciate the lunch we had yesterday.
All right, so did I. Bar talk was awesome. Those ice cream cones were bigger than your face.
What's hot is I got my territory. What I appreciate is my circle of influence.
Good. Eddie, welcome. Trader.
What's hot is the first time I'm ever in Tampa. What I appreciate is Alex and Jackson's hospitality.
Standing.
What's hot is I got my car fixed, and what I appreciate is the COI.
What's hot is I hit the trip, and I really appreciate that lunch yesterday.
Okay.
That was really good.
That's cool. What you didn't realize, they put the special secret Selmore sauce into the salsa. So you're welcome.
What's hot is my birthday's coming up, and what I appreciate is you.
Thank you. And IU. And Callie. And Callie's training. So that she no longer eats carpet. I love it. Brandon.
What's hot is DR. It's hot.
That's right.
And, I appreciate it. It's my circle of influence.
Congratulations to all of our winners, by the way. Dalila.
What's hot is I finally have my classes ready for the spring, and I appreciate this prep.
All right, me too. Giovanni.
What's hot is pretty much the first time in Tampa. What I appreciate is Carlos for his hospitality.
There you go. Ella.
What's hot is I'm finally gonna decide soon on what college I want to go to next year.
University of Maryland. Awesome.
Yeah. Then what I appreciate is Punta Cana.
Punta Cana. I like it when someone from a Latin descent says it and then someone white says it. I'm going to Punta Cana. Where are you going? Punta Cana. Punta Cana, nonetheless, you can say it however you want when you have a cerveza from Punta Cana in your hand. There you go.
What's hot is I won a karaoke competition last night, and also, of course, Punta Cana. So that's good too.
Punta, she's a little extra
I am
con accento. What's that?
I am Brazilian.
Are you really?
Yeah,
That's what she.
Swanson?
that's my dad.
Oh, okay.
That's my dad.
I got it.
That's mine too.
Okay, cool.
But and what I appreciate is this opportunity.
Awesome.
What's hot is moving college tomorrow at Lakeland, and what I appreciate is being prepped with the kind of my circle as well.
Good. Orlando in the back.
Oh, what's hot is you start the year, right? Some goals to go for, and what I appreciate is for the end table.
There you go. New year, new me. Do me. I saw that. New year, new me. Do me. Sure, from someone single. Anyway, in the back, Carlos. Welcome. Thank you for hosting, by the way.
What's hot is we have TLA in our office. That's hot, and I appreciate you.
Thank you. I appreciate you, and I appreciate Giovanni, and I appreciate being able to tour. This is the first time in my career I've ever done this. It's always been come to the hub, come to the pilot, or come to one place. And I think one of the best moves of 2017 when I had three annual reviews. One with Scott, one with my mentor, I guess John Oberg, and then one with Heidi. We do like a relationship debrief and have a really expensive dinner. It's all cool. Scott's not as pretty. We don't do a dinner, but and I spoke about best practices for DVM in 17. I said being able to tour and choosing to go to different hubs has been a lot of fun and well worth it to visit. Get time, or whether in Tallahassee and the after hours shenanigans over there, or Gainesville with a weekend with Luke and all the fun things in Tampa and all the fun we're gonna have here too. So let's go virtually. Mr. Schachter.
Definitely the snow outside. It's pretty cold.
That's what's hot, or that's what's cold?
No, I think that's pretty hot. I like it.
Oh, okay.
It is pretty hot.
And what do you appreciate?
I appreciate being able to zoom in, and it's pretty cool that I can be far and still be there.
Yeah, technology. Like, whoa. Let's go to Grant Strayer, who's probably down the street from you, by the way.
Yeah, a bit down the street. What's hot is January 20th is coming up with the Maryland game, so that's pretty hot. And then what I appreciate is the time I got to spend in Georgia with my dad before coming back to school.
Nice. And what's so great, Grant, about that experience when I come to visit is that Maryland is terrible. So that's what's great.
Yeah, but Indiana isn't doing much better either.
Then it's going to be one hell of a night then. Okay, we'll go Oscar.
So what's hot? I just started a semester in Miami, so it's pretty hot. And what I appreciate is Diego Fernandez hospitality here in Miami until I can find an apartment. So.
Awesome. We'll go Mila, then to Jeremy.
What's hot is I'm back in Gainesville. Feels good to be back. And what I appreciate is the year-end banquet coming up.
Yeah, me too. I'm really excited. And it'll be fun. We'll go Jeremy, then to Rachel, then Luke Laughlin.
What's hot is being back in Florida. So I have a demo right after this. And what I appreciate is being here with the 18th squad.
Awesome. Demo after. Music to my ears. And you look very presidential, Jeremy. Good outfit. We'll go to Rachel Gutman and Luke Laughlin.
What's hot is being back at school, new semester. And what I appreciate is my dad.
Awesome. We'll go to Luke Laughlin and then Double D.
So what's hot? I'm about to head to Florida for year and banquet, hang with David for a little while. What I appreciate clarity and massive action.
That's right. I love it. RPM. We'll go David Delgado, and then we'll swing over to Tally.
What's hot is campus is picking up. We were recruiting a lot of sharp young men and women. And what I appreciate is the help from our staff and Jeremy in particular.
Outstanding. Thank you. We'll go to Tally. We'll go Senior Palacio, and then we'll go Kirsten.
What's hot? Got one of my circle of influences in the office, Mr. Will Lovelace, which is pretty cool. I didn't know he was transferring until team meeting on Wednesday. What I appreciate is everyone in this room and everything they've been teaching me.
Awesome. We'll go to Kirsten, then over to Maddie.
What's hot is I'm so excited for so excited. Luke, stop for year-end banquet. And what I appreciate is Maddie Harrell.
All right. Speaking of Maddie Harrell, then we'll go to Will Lovelace.
And Eric Palazzo.
Okay, so what's hot is being here in Tally, and I appreciate my circle of influence.
Thank you. Will, transfer to FSU. Welcome to the T. No, welcome.
Yep. So what's hot is just joining a new office and being up here and out of the cold. And what I appreciate is everyone in the office kind of welcoming me and letting me be up here.
Not Eddie.
Well, JP, you're up.
So what's hot is I just started my last semester at TCC. I think it's gonna be a good one. What I appreciate is just the A squad. I'm fired up.
Awesome. Fired up too. Mr. Sean.
What's hot is this Tally squad, and what I appreciate is just moving up in the company.
Yeah, you are. Congrats on your territory. Congrats to all of our DMs officially. I guess we should recognize that. We'll do snaps for that. For the DMs, you got Sean in Ocala. So Sean Paul, congratulations. We've got Miss Rhiannon Smith over in Sarasota, Bradenton. We got keep the snaps. Mr. Brandon Denny over in Lakeland, Florida, Polk County. We got Mr. Jackson Montgomery over in Tallahassee, Florida, and Mr. Tyler Condon in Pasco Dash, Hernando. You know, named after her? Me neither. Okay. Luke Maseko, wrap us up.
What's hot is I got that Vegas haircut. What I appreciate is going to Vegas. Yeah, it's about.
Wait, you're going to Vegas?
Yeah.
I'm going to Vegas.
Gonna do some cool stuff.
We are going to do some cool stuff. And just so you guys are aware, Andrew and Luke, every year since last year, I always set up a contest. If you guys finish, the first year was if you guys finish number 1, number 2 in the nation. And they did that. So we did this epic Miami food tour. It was pretty epic. And then we said, let's do something a little bit more bananas. So you guys finished number 1 branch and the number 1 pilot. And we didn't quite hit number 1 pilot in the company. This is some guy named Drew Frank beat us. Barely Hindu, by the way, Luke. But I decided to do the contest anyway because it serves me. So, so we're gonna do it anyway. We're gonna do a food tour except we're gonna do Vegas. They've never been. They just recently turned 21 as in the last couple years or so. So Vegas baby, Vegas baby. On to a couple things, and I want you to, whether you screenshot this, you've had this from last preps. If you're new to this, keep it really simple. There's elegance and simplicity. Okay. If you were to compare, I would say our preps to a lot of other preps. One of the takeaways I hope that other DVMs or DMs that watch our YouTube, and there are plenty, I often get is you just keep it really simple. And that's the goal for this. And as you go up into the business, I'm looking at Rio over here with next level experience. I want that to be how you get a little bit more experience. And then year 3, and then year 4. And then we talked, I was having a conversation with Orlando, who I'm seeing in the back. And sometimes we overcomplicate the business. Me at the top of the list. I make it so complicated sometimes. And then when you get down to it, you just get people to show up to the office and then show up to the training, and then show up with 5 to 10 demos to launch, and then show up to the next event. Lo and behold, you've got a Cutco office. So that's the part I think that's so important. But when you start to break it down, start with the black. In general, can you be really good at those 5 things? That's what will create an office. And then when you're a next level member, here's how I say it. I know this might not be completely accurate, but take a look. In the black is what you need to really focus on as a branch, your first year. And then towards the end of that first year experience, you start to really, really get better specifically at the red. You see what I'm saying? So for example, and Brandon's nodding his head, he's run feels like 10 offices, I don't know why. PR program in general. So I just know as a first year branch, I want Brandon to go out there. Let's say he goes to Boca Raton, Florida for his first year branch. I just want him to get PRs. And he knows what that means. It means Facebook. It means PR talk. It means send to conveyor. It means keep your top 10 list. But then towards the end, always when it starts to build and it's over in recruiting, you start to get these light bulbs like, oh my gosh, I wish I had kept more names for myself to call PRs, and I didn't do that. I really wish I had nailed my PR talk and spent more time on that than trying to concentrate on getting these kids excited about value. Like little things. And then you train round 2, TLA, and then you execute. So you don't just build a business. What do you do second year? Second year. Grow. And then third year. Scale. Okay, you got it. So, and so forth and so forth. If I'm a first year, though, and I want to keep it really, really elegant because it's really, really simple, I would just focus on these 2. And ironically enough, that's what we're going to talk about the prep days, the second one. The first one, we've been talking all fall about how do you get quality reps like you into your office? How do you get PRs? The second part of the program is how do you create an efficient training program? And I'm going to say this up front because we've already covered training a little bit. Who and when did we cover? Who covered and when did we cover training? Luke, where? In Olean on the objectives. I'm going to review that again. Keeping it really simple. I'm going to be up front. I'm looking at Amanda first year, Ella first year. Anyone who's running their first time office, you will not really know the full training, even after your 7th or 8th training. And in fact, here's what happens. And Ree, help me out, sister. Tell me if you agree. You finally start to understand, oh, okay, I get it. And that's your last training. And Scott has this, and mark my words when I say this. At SE2, Scott has this whole speech. It's the same speech every year. In fact, I see his notes. It says, just when you think you're about to get it, it's over. Right? That's why he talks. That was a good impersonation, by the way. Yeah. How French? So, this is recorded. Damn it. Okay, sorry. Edit. So, think of it this way: it's over. But that's that fresh. Okay, I get it. That you need to take into TLA Part 2. And that's how you maximize your second summer. If you're next level training, don't think that you're going to master the training your second or even third summer either. But you should have progression. Okay, and so you look at people who do you think of in our division that when they run training, they always get great results? Well, you think of the vets, you think of Carlos, you think of Micah Brawlins right now. And it's an easy answer. But think of how many times they've had to go through that process. And it's funny because I'm about to go through the same process because I'm going to go from 3-day to 2-day. And as a division manager, I don't run many trainings, so my repetition is low. So I've got to get back down to basics. So what do I have to do? And so it's ironic. I have to do all the things you guys are going to do in the next 3 months. And I can't wait. And it's exciting for me to relearn and to redo. In fact, I'm going cross training. I'm going to I'll train. I'm going to see Brian Perlman run training for 2 days. And I'm sure there's some personal fun involved there too. I would imagine. But new division manager, and I'm going to watch him run training. Now, I'm going to script training in the back. And we're going to have, and last week's training seminar, just was videotaped. So we're going to have a videotape of somebody running a 2-day training, very basic, especially because Herman is we're a fan of Herman in Florida United. We've been watching his training for multiple years now. So we're going to get the Herman version of 2-day training. But I want you to know that there's a process and we're all going to go through it. But keep it really simple. All you need to do is make sure you have the reps finish training and launch with appointments. Okay? And as you know.
Hey, Jeff.
Yes, sir.
We can't see your slides. Virtual attendees.
Good call. Thank you. Hold on. Here we go.
There it is.
There it is.
Oh, that's the object. Okay, got it.
Okay. And you understand it's about experience and profit potential. And I want to, at the risk of you going, Jeff, we know. Yeah, we all know. But why is it that every time I always have first years to talk about, I got to win a silver cup or I'm not successful? It's dumb. It's dumb to set yourself up for that. That's like saying I'm going to go up to bat and I've never played baseball. If I don't hit a home run, I'm not playing baseball anymore. Then you still might not play baseball anymore. But don't make it because of that ill-advised expectation. Okay, food for thought. And we just did this, and you guys failed the test, but that's okay. When you run your first year branch, it's to build a business from scratch. Second year branch, grow. Third year is scale. Okay, and I think this is really important to remember. If you're a district office manager getting promoted, we have here in the room 2 of you officially getting promoted to district office manager. We'll announce that next week. Your role is to play more of an apprenticeship to really master that, so you can kind of go out and be in between 1 and 2. That's the goal, right? Your first year. And I said this at the last prep, and I'm really excited to say that there is a Florida United takeover of the Eastern region this summer, and in the most respectful way possible. We're going to implant our influence, our systems, our programs, and most importantly, our great people up and down. We're going to put 3 of you in Richmond, Virginia, and we'll do real world style. We're going to put 1 of you in Huntington, West Virginia, and just so you know, also they're not going to be able to staff the other Virginia. Come on, Jax, you're good. Huntington, West Virginia, we'll put 1 of our Florida United members, and the other office in West Virginia is not opening, so that person will get 2 territories together. I mean, this is really good stuff. We're going to put 1 of our Florida United members into Pensacola, Florida, one of the most consistently high-producing district branch, soon-to-be district, but branch offices for, in this case, a second or third year branch office. We're going to go people in Georgia. We're going to put people up and down the East Coast. We're going to create new territories, and it's all going to be Florida United influence. What a great year to be part of our epic 2018. So that being said, I want to transition. Just a reminder of financially, there are still some benefits to this, everybody. This isn't pro bono work, and the experience I know is critical. And who's ever heard your stereotypical Cutco talk where they say, I would do it for free for the experience? Okay? And people genuinely believe that, but if you can get paid, you should get paid. That's what I'm saying. Like, there's experience where I believe if you lose money on the branch gig, if you look at it the right way and you retrain and go out and then not lose money, I think you've just done yourself an immense favor for your future because of taking that hit and learning how to run from it. Because a lot of people are going to want to hire and recruit that person, a 5-star recruit. But financially, it's a new gig. And I had a really cool conversation with Kate Arbuthnot. She's a division manager in DC Metro. She's my former pilot sales manager. She's one of my first assistant managers ever. She is now, I think, in her, 7th year being a division manager. Just got married last year. Okay, is pregnant, so is about to have her first baby, conveniently in May. Of course, how convenient. And just bought her first home, a 6-bedroom, 5-bedroom house. 6-bedroom house. I mean, this place is awesome. Just hosted her big Christmas party. I was over there, and we were talking about being a district manager. I know this is not the district op talk, but just in general, the financial opportunity, it's easy for you to gain. And I would put this in your notes somewhere, not for today. We're not going to even discuss it today. But if you really want to perform at a higher level, get recommitted or more committed. How do you get or more committed to something, someone, or any kind of cause? Right? Think of one way you can get recommitted, more committed to, let's say, a relationship. You ever hear someone say we rekindled our marriage? They rekindle the fire in our relationship. Or how do you rekindle that fire? For all of you that have been here for so long, since August and July and June. Feels like forever, doesn't it? Try 20 summers. Try 21 summers, 22 summers, 21 years. Try that. How do you rekindle that? Well, you always appreciate, and what you appreciate appreciates. You've heard that from me and from multiple people. What we appreciate and give value to always goes up in value. So you really want to appreciate Cutco for what it's worth? Go out and really research. This was my conversation with Kate. Research what people make coming out of college and what they have to do to make it and how long it takes them to get there. And then research how long it takes to make 6 figures, $100,000. And then the thing that will blow your mind that no one ever thinks about, but financially, unless you're a really smart business person, you'll think about the difference of being an employee with that $100,000 versus a 1099 and how much you pay in taxes. Okay, so I want you to know that to get $100,000 income here is way different, not here Cutco only, but when you're a 1099 independent contractor, 6-figure income here is different than what needs to be probably a 150 to 130 to 140, 130 to 150 before taxes somewhere else. Okay, so we've got district managers. Carlos is making 6 figures this year, but we have people where to make that outside, and this is a reality. To make that outside, if after taxes you want to take home what Carlos is taking home after taxes, your income to the world, the real world, has to be 130, 140, 150. How many people do you know that make 130, 140, 150? I'm marrying one, and she's making. I don't know. She's going to make probably in excess of 250 to 300 plus. Sounds awesome, doesn't it? But then she's got taxes. No, don't get me wrong. We're not broke by any means, right? But what I'm saying is it's just different. You have to understand that what we've got here, and it's not for everybody, it's a really sweet gig. So I appreciate that for what it's worth. Also appreciate how we wire you to think. Appreciate the culture and the tempo here. Appreciate the way it is here. If you're a football fan, one of the things that's really prevalent this time of year is playoffs. And if you don't know football, there are always some teams that are always championship caliber. And if you think NFL, raise your hand if you know NFL. The team right now that everyone knows has the championship caliber, the pedigree, and the multiple years of experience, including the greatest quarterback in the history of the NFL, arguably right now, is what team?
Miami Dolphins.
Miami Dolphins, exactly. The Patriots. Okay? And you don't have to know football to know that the Patriots have a championship lineage. And one thing you should know, and they were interviewing them this week, and I was going to pull a slide, and it said, we went onto the practice field, and all these things going on outside with the media, right? You know, accidents here, you know, everyone's business is out there. And the reporter went and said, when I went to the practice field, and I asked the players about all the things going on outside, all the scandal, they said, we don't talk about that during practice because it's about getting business done. And there's a player who transferred over this year for a big contract, and he said, it is unlike anything I've ever seen here in the New England Patriots practice facility. There's a culture of when you walk into this field, it's all about business. You don't bring your personal issues. You get over it, and we're a team that wins, and we do it with high, high standards. No one gets by. No one's above anyone else, even the best quarterback in the history of the league. And so when you operate from that standpoint, that doesn't mean we're out without mistakes. It means you hold yourself to a high standard, and it doesn't mean just getting your assignments in on time or showing up to things on time or looking buttoned up with your coffee stains and inside joke there, drop coffee. That's not what it's about. It's about, are you wired to think a certain way? You know, in Florida United, it's very common to look around and just see people responding versus reacting to challenge. It's very common here for you to come and be a solution finder, and as Luke says, not a problem reporter. It's really interesting. You know, here's what's really cool. We're special announcement that'll be coming. Grace Velez is deciding to take a new territory assignment. So she'll be moving from her San Juan office, and she'll be joining the Georgia division and taking over East Jacksonville, Florida. So her dream in general was to run San Juan for a couple of years and then eventually be in Florida, be in the mainland. And so she's getting her dream early. And what was cool, her dream also helps David Vargas. So his dream territory is San Juan, Puerto Rico. So David Vargas will get San Juan, Puerto Rico this summer. So what a cool gig for both of them. It was really, one of my Trey Ketchum called me. He said, hey, I just wanted to talk to you. I had a call with Grace yesterday. I said, how'd it go? He goes, wow. I mean, it is just impressive. It is buttoned up, ready? She comes to the call with a Jeff list. That sound familiar, everyone? And she said, is there anything I should add to the list for you, Trey? And I just didn't know what to say. And she said, should I send you a big three? And I said, what the hell is a big three? And, you know, it's what I tell you, my big focus for the day quickly, but I don't want to do it live and waste your time. We can just do it efficiently through WhatsApp. And Trey goes, and then she said, yeah, and also, you know, if you want to let me know all the dates for the summer, because, and Trey goes, I don't have those yet. Do you need those? She goes, oh yeah, I need to, because I got a plan. Right? And there's all these things, these examples, and I kept wanting to go, you know, you're trained, you know, you're trained, you know, you're trained. And then Trey at the end says, is this how all you guys are? I said, and I, you know, that's my boy too, he's my wedding. I said, yeah, I want to be real humble about it. I said, yeah. He says, I get it. And so that's an example of United Train, and this is an example of spreading that, in this case, to Georgia. So keep that in mind as you operate. So if you find yourself not being United Train, slap yourself. Or slap yourself. Think about that. For example, this territory and I've had this probably 3 times this week already. I want to go to this territory, but I'm hearing I might go here, so I throw a shit fit. That was 2 people this week. Like a kid. Well, I want this because. I'm sorry. You want what? Because of who? Because a territory is a territory. And when we put you there, I don't care if I put you next to my office. You should ship knives, even if you're right next to the pilot. I wouldn't do that. I wouldn't do that. But my point is, right? That's not Florida United thinking. Things are happening, and ready when things get tough, and I set her for a push week. This happened to 6 calls this week. I was supposed to push this way, and as soon as it didn't go well, I lost focus, or I didn't do as much as I could have, or I kind of just hid. What are you, a new rep at 1K? That's what they do. I saw that during the push, and I went, who is that? And it's not one person, so if you think I'm singling you out, there's like 6 of you, 6 to 10 of you. I heard, oh, well, I'm so stressed. I mean, you would think, hey, I don't know what team you're from. That doesn't sound like our team. Because our team relishes that. Our team, just like the movie 300, right, fights in the shade. You understand what that means? Who knows that analogy? Damn, seriously, you don't know the movie 300? When all the arrows are coming?
It's been a while since I've seen that.
Okay, let me educate you. So the Spartans are fighting, And then the Persian Empire throws arrows into the air. They shoot arrows into the air, and it blocks the sun. And they're holding the shields up, and all these arrows are coming down, could kill them at any moment, and they start laughing. And he goes, bro, what are you laughing at? He goes, fight in the shade. And they all start laughing as the arrows are coming down, trying to kill them. And that to me, that represents how I see all of you working this summer. When that poop hits the fan, when the arrows come, I expect you to laugh about it. But I've seen some not so united, friendly things the last couple of weeks already. Get yourself right, because we trained you better than that. I expect more. I expect more from all of you than what I've seen. Well, let's be better. Let's be better. So real quick, you can pull out your journal or a laptop. Here's the question. What are the key skills, experiences, and opportunities you desire when signing up for the branch op or district op? What were the key skills, experiences, opportunities you desired when signing up for the branch opportunity? Give me a couple of thoughts on that. And districts, humor me. For being a district, new and vet, I think it would be a great exercise. What are the key skills, experiences, and opportunities you desired when signing up for the branch, or in this case, new district, or in the back, veteran district manager? Get some thoughts down. What are the key skills, experiences, and opportunities you desired when signing up for the branch opportunity? When that letter of intent went in, or when that interview with me in August seems so long ago to try and get into TLA happened. Remember that? When you got that letter from me at SC1 saying, I really think you could be a key player here, and you found it 2 days ago and showed me a picture of it. Like that exciting moment of commitment to run a branch or to be here in the TLA process. What did you want from that? What were those things you want? The skills? For those of you that are wired differently, just make 3 columns: skills, experience, opportunities, and write down the list. Give you another 60 seconds. Uh, 30 seconds. Bless you. Bless you. Thanks. And as you start to finish up the experiences, skills, and opportunities, why? Make a few notes. Why? Why did you want those things? Branch will get me these things: skills, experiences, and opportunities. But why is that important for you? Why is it important for you to gain those skills or experiences or opportunities? Some of you, it's pretty concise and you can put it down in 1 or 2 words. Some of you. Give another 30 seconds for this one. Why are those skills and opportunities and experiences important to you? My favorite part. Next one. So what's the best version of you look like after you get that? whatever you look at, those experiences and those opportunities and those skills, when you get them after this summer or multiple summers or cut through college, describe yourself. Describe the new you. Describe the 2.0 or 3.0 you after you've branched the amount of times you want to branch, after you have graduated with the 5-star recruit that you are. After, in this case, you've opened up in your first 3-year cycle as a new district manager, if you're new. 2-3 years from now, if you're Carlos or Orlando in the back. Describe your life. Describe you. What's the best version of you, the you that you want, the you that you desire? How does money look right then? How do you physically look and feel? What things are you able to do? What are your relationships and family in some cases like? Family being maybe kids, dogs. No, too soon. Okay. Sorry, Landa. What are you able to do? Who are you with? How do you feel? How would people describe you then versus now? Give you 30 seconds for this one. Describe yourself after getting the cut through college experience you're looking for, or the start to your district career experience, or the vet 3 years from now vet experience as a district manager. You drive. What are you driving? That's a softball question. That's a beach ball question. What are you driving? What kind of BMW? Well, you have no choice. What does your 3 Series look like besides black? Ready? This one, I don't want you to put as much free flow into this. What are your big 3 action steps? Because when I say what needs to happen from now until April for your branch experience to be as close to that as possible, right? What's your big 3? To make sure you're setting up a great experience this summer, what are the biggest 3 things? Does it have to do with your mentality and your responsibility level and your organization level and your prioritization of being serious about what you're preparing for? Does it have to do with something technical? Does it have to do with something financial, physical, mental, spiritual, religious, relationship, circle of influence? What's your big 3? It should be pretty clear. And if it's not clear, get a PC with me. But that needs to be clear now. So don't think that getting clear on April 1st is when you do it. If you don't get clear now, April 1st, you missed the boat. And then last thing. Give me the top 1 or 2 pains you've experienced since the summer to get to this point. Because you're here. And you know what? 2/3 of the people aren't here. You are here. You're going to get appointed to territory next week or not. About 3 to 5 of you. Maybe not next week. Still more to earn. And if that's you, you already know it's going to be you. So you better do something now. But most of you, 75% of you will get a territory on the 18th or 19th next week. I'm actually going to send at the end of this message a link, and you're going to book your call to find out your territory, or if you get one. This is real, ladies and gentlemen. It is happening. Poop just got real. Okay? And some of you will have a disappointing call, but I wouldn't say disappointing. For some of you should already know what that call looks like if it's not a territory. So come with massive action. Those are actually my favorite ones. Come with massive action to that call. If you know you're probably not going to get a territory next week, and share with me some results that have happened, your game plan, what you're going to do to earn and buy the 2nd round of decisions, which is year-end banquet. And just don't be the 3rd round of decisions. That means you don't get anything. I have a great track record. We're like a med school here. You know what that means? Hard as hell to get in, but you graduate, damn it, when you get in. That's us. It's A squad is hard as hell to get into, but when you get A squad, you're going to run an office. You're going to be a district office manager. You're going to be doing something. You might be limping, it might hurt, but you're gonna, damn it, you're gonna go. Okay? Quitting is not an option. So for those of you that are internally head down right now, knowing, oh man, that's me next week. That's fine, that's you next week, but that won't be you before your banquet, so do something about it. What are one or two biggest pain experiences and the gift from it? And we'll end with that. One or two biggest, most painful experiences since the beginning of the TLA cycle. But the greatest gift in that, please. Carlos, do you have a trash line or you just throw it? No. Send it. Okay. Here's what I like to do. I like you to share your answers with a partner. Right? Bree, I'll have you go with Eddie. Amanda, I'll have you two. Ella, right here. Dalila, you're Tyler. That's not even, damn it. Hold on.
No, Jackson.
He's not here right now. So we'll go 2, 2, 2, 2, and next. Okay.
Those are a lot of figures.
2, 2, 2. Okay, I confused the hell out of you because I'm confused. Okay. You're going to go with Tristan.
Okay.
You're going to go with Eddie. Okay. You're going to go right next to Javon. You're going to turn around. You're going to go with Dalila, and then you two. Yes. Yep. I switched it on you again. Yes.
Okay.
And you two in the back. So let's share for a little bit, right? So share all the answers as much as you can. Go one for one, right? Go first question, share. Second question, share. Give you a few moments on that.
All right.
Let's do this. Do me a favor. Can anyone share anything interesting either that you wrote down you'd love to share from any of the questions, or something you heard that was either profound or a good reminder that you think is worth sharing? So either something from you or something you heard. Ms. Dalila.
So my partner was Alex, and we were talking about like finances and how we both struggle a little bit with finances, and we both kind of had that moment where we weren't managing it as well, and it's good that we realize it now rather than during branch.
Well, yeah, because the hardest part, if you just figure that out while you're running with your money in the summer, it's rough. Jack, you can come back. Okay. Good. Thanks for sharing. That was Alex's, or you guys shared the same?
Alex and like me too.
Okay, yeah, I agree. Money is the biggest thing. That's one of the biggest lessons, but also, I will be honest, in my years, that's the most painful lessons after people learn is, money lessons. So, yes, sir.
When you ask the question, like, what will they describe you as, and stuff like that, I just put, like.
This is for you.
Yeah.
Okay.
Successful, but they will only see like the fun. They won't see like the work behind it.
Yeah, they never do. Yeah, Florida United is an 7-year overnight success, right? Like all the stuff that's happening now, and that just happened last summer because we had that meeting. Remember the first meeting we had together and did the ropes course? Because of that, that's why all this happened. Nothing the 6 years prior to that led to. Come on. Good. Amanda.
Yeah, Eddie was my partner, and he was saying that now after this experience, we kind of know all these like super cool people, really hardworking for the rest of our lives. So relationships that we've built.
Good. Okay. We'll go Tristan, then we'll go over to some virtual. So whether Tally or anyone else that was able to share, we'll go.
My kind of combination of mine, and then also, so for mine, for the question of how I want people to see you, one of mine was successful, like a genuine friend. It also kind of goes into kind of Denny's of successful, they want to see that, and then Rhiannon, she kind of said, I want people to just not have that. I don't want to really introduce myself.
Yeah. And I think here's something that's really important. Think about your parents. Now, all of you, I think, have great parents because the fact that they're your parents. You should appreciate that, right? And some of you might dispute their parenting, and we all have those issues. But here's what I will say. You ever seen parents where, man, all they present to their kids is the good, and they don't let their kids see that they're struggling? I can your mom, right? Mom's killer. My mom's like that too, where they just really know how to take care of you, and they take care of all the crap behind the scenes. That's to me, that's the ultimate example. A lot of you have family members like that, and my parents were like, my dad was like that, my mom was like that, and so if that's how you want to present, like duck on water. It's like, yeah, I've worked so hard to get to this point, but it's not about the woe story. It's about, hey, but we're at this point, not, oh my gosh, and all the stuff I have to do. Do you know how much I have to do for sacrifice? My parents never threw, my dad did, but my mom doesn't throw in my face. She just says, this is the life we have because we worked hard and you deserve. I mean, that's, and that can be really motivating. Not just, regarding the knife office. Other thoughts? How about virtually? How about over in Tally? Yeah, go for it. You can speak a little bit louder. Sort of. Hold on. Try it again.
Hello.
Yeah, there you go.
Okay. My answer to the question of like saying what will the branch experience get me is, I've seen the process of how it works on a person. Like I knew Luke before he branched and after he branched. And I just saw like a complete 180 of just organization, prioritization, money management, honestly being calm in situations that like normal people wouldn't be common, and making everything just seem a lot more simple. And I think that's the experience you can gain from running your own office. And that's what I'm really looking forward to.
There's nothing more compelling than a relationship or someone personally going through the experience, right? That's why when you run a branch, one of the most gratifying things is when you have reps that you launch that want to do what you do. You know how many mini Lukes there are around here? Female and male, by the way. Do you know how many little Andrews there are that look up to Andrew and want to be like Andrew and run 17 companies like Andrew? They're people like I could say the same thing about all the district managers. It's a really cool feeling. Other things from virtual land that either you wrote and you wanted to share or you heard from someone else? Mila.
So Jeremy had a really good one for his why. He said that he just wants to set himself up to have the best future possible. And I really like that. I thought that was a good one.
I think that's also, gosh, the driving factor of what Vector does. I hope. Not just making income. I think you know that. Any other things you want to share? That's good stuff. I think going into where we are now, okay, here's where I will say also, as we get more and more towards the summer, let me give you a little bit of a reality check. So I want you to write a couple of things down. This might wake you up. A couple of things. Or scare you. Ready? Region summer kickoff is less than 2.5 months away. That is where the whole eastern region, at least the southern part, Florida United, Florida Atlantic, Georgia, get together, and Coastal, I think, get together with Mr. Scott Dennis in Jacksonville, and we launch the summer. And the Monday we get back, game on like Donkey Kong. Less than 2.5 months away. Just let that sit for a second. I got another one. You're in banquets in 2 weeks. How's that? You're in banquets in 2 weeks. When the hell did your banquet just show up? I don't know about you, but I felt like we just had our first prep and we were talking about all those things in my office crammed in like a bunch of sardines. You guys remember that one? But doesn't that seem like a long time ago? But now it's already a year in banquet. In 1 week, we're announcing 80% of territories. That's kind of fast. Territory announcements within 1 week. First round, the major round's coming next week. How about that? How about this? There's only one more prep before you go out to prepare. There's only one more of these. February. My gosh. There's only one more prep. There's only one more TLA prep to prepare you. But really, this is not the preparation, is it? When and where's the preparation? Yeah, with who? Yourself. And when? On your own time. Okay. The divisional March, we call it the KILL meeting. Divisional March KILL divisional planning session where all the branches, all the districts, and the appointed district office managers will come to Fort Lauderdale. We'll have a 3-day session, one for the general session, one for just the vet districts, and one for everybody. And we'll, new offices will get a group planning session. So 3 days in Fort Lauderdale, and that is less than 2 months away. It's crazy. It's about 2 months away from that. This is crazy. I mean, it is real right now. So just as you process that, I hope the wake-up call, serves to you the way that my dad used to tell people when they were his patients. You've got some high blood pressure, you've got a history, you're in danger. And sometimes he says, that's all I need to say. And all of a sudden they come back and 2 months later, 3 months later, they're down 20 pounds. They stop smoking. They do all these things because all they need to hear is, it is real. And I'm hoping that that's what's happening here. It's exciting though. Hey, don't mess up. No pressure. Okay. A couple miscellaneous. Oh, let's stop here. Big takeaways from the first few moments, because I'm going to do a quick running list before we go to break, and then I'll bring Carlos, get him reset. Senor Giovanni.
It's basically my why, which was I could be doing what a lot of others my age are doing, but instead of just impacting my future.
Yeah. We're doing different things. I think Carlos, were you the one who posted Jeff Bezos? Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, about with Amazon. Yeah. And it was in a small little. Technically, it was his garage turned into an office, right? Yeah. And it said Amazon and this dinky little sign.
Just some backstory on that, by the way. He was already a billionaire when he took that picture and he started Amazon. So people think like he was broken poor. He was a billionaire, but I think the lesson is he didn't invest all his money in this dope office space and all this funded furniture. He built it from the ground up and he invested his resources the right way.
Yeah, slowly and surely. That's right. I love that.
He did look like a billionaire.
I know. Other takeaways so far? Okay, let's do a quick hit. Oh, go ahead. Go ahead.
I think it just the importance of assessment in general, because if you assess what you want to get out of what you're going to do, you're going to go about doing it differently. So I think that it's really important, in every aspect of life, to assess what you want out of the experience that you're going to go through in order for you to actually get what you want.
Yeah. Well, yeah, and let me use another analogy to back up Kirsten here. The mirror is the most painful but most helpful thing you can use. What do I mean by that? Who can explain that analogy? The mirror right now is your most hated enemy, and you hate the mirror, but it's your trusted friend because it'll help you grow the most. What does that mean? Go ahead, Dalila.
Sometimes it's the hardest thing to look at yourself, and it's the most uncomfortable thing, but you have to do it in order to grow.
Yeah, and a lot of times we can't put the mirror because we don't even know how to grab the mirror. So that's why you have to have a good circle of influence that says, "Hey, bud, you needs to know. You needs to know." Okay, good. Couple quick thoughts. I'm going to go to the agenda real quick, and you can follow along in the agenda if you have it. Facebook Jumpstart. Did anyone not sign up? Because if you didn't, you're in trouble. Okay. So starting Tuesday, you will start to get links and documents. Do not get behind. And it's really important, even if whether you're a district office manager, you're confident you're getting a territory on Thursday, or you feel like you're going to get round 2 acceptance in 2 weeks, just know that Facebook Jumpstart is pretty straightforward. And Luke, I know I didn't prep you for this, but you've been through the Facebook Jumpstart program. It's to the T. Most of you already, because of just being part of our company and United, know how to get Facebook recruits from a territory in general. You know what your profile should look like. You know the things you need to go to max preps and all those things. But this is an A to Z, so you don't miss any of the basics. Okay, Luke, do you have any thoughts in speaking to how simple or the accuracy of that Facebook Jumpstart?
I mean, we're all pretty familiar with Facebook. I mean, the actual platform, and it's just, it's a community of people all doing the same thing. So just about any question you can have about the program can immediately get answered on there, and they come out with content for you and just kind of walk you through it step by step the whole way. So it makes it really easy.
Another way to look at it is if you haven't been as detail oriented with Facebook program through the fall, well, you've gotten to this point, which means you'll get a territory. This will kind of button things up for you. Okay, so let me give you a couple of notes, or you can highlight the agenda. I put on the agenda. Number 1 is that it's got an interview with Andrew Evans about the impact of Facebook. So there's a full-blown, they interviewed him. That's part of what the content you'll be getting. So that's great. Now he's close to home, but don't assume just because he's from our division, he's your boy, that you know all the stuff he's doing. So that's a big one. Then they interviewed three of the highest, most successful Facebook recruiting branches from last summer. So 4 interviews in total. Next thing here, you're also going to get a document on how to clean up your Facebook page and your profile. Someone asked, Jeff, did you change your WhatsApp profile? Did you guys notice that? I did, because the one I had before wouldn't meet the guidelines. And I said, oh, wait, I can't tell you to fix yours if mine's kind of I'm like having fun at a prep and it's not unprofessional, but it's not matching the guidelines. So cleaning up your Facebook and your Instagram and all of your imaging, okay, your social imaging, that'll be on there. So any questions on that? That's going to be coming. And from my understanding, and Luke, you may not know this, I'm not sure, but every Tuesday they're going to give you content, from my understanding. Every Tuesday you're going to get welcome to Facebook. Did you guys already get the welcome to Facebook Jumpstart? Okay, every Tuesday it'll say this is out, this is out. As soon as it comes out, put it into your Power Hour schedule that's something you should review that week and save all those files. Any questions? Cool. Number 2, I want to give props to Mr. Grant Strayer. Sorry. Grant was kind enough to share his spring plan, and I'm going to pull it up in opening comments. You have this already, but I'm going to put it up on the screen for you. Okay. So if you take a look, it says spring training prep and execution. Grant, would you be able to give a 30-second summary of how you got this, how you put this together, who you talked to, and what's I guess the premise behind your plan? So leaving this, I want everyone to have their plan, and it's going to be due by year and banquet. Okay, so don't get me wrong. It doesn't mean you're doing 0 from now until the banquet. It means after the banquet, I want to know your game plan, all of February, all of March, up until it's been essentially a 2-month plan. Grant, would you mind sharing a few thoughts, sir?
Yes, of course. So one of the biggest calls I had was just with Luke, and with yourself as well, just the big key points that you wanted me to hit, and then going through with Luke to see how I could hit those. And one of the biggest things that I found for myself would be organization. It's just something I know I need to work on. So one of the biggest things I was doing just prepping before year-end banquet is getting all the videos in the folders and cleaning up anything I have to clean up before year-end banquet, because once that happens, then it really starts. So as much prep as I can do beforehand would set me up in the best situation after year-end banquet. And then Luke and I just went through the biggest keys that you had me address, and just thought of different ways that I could accomplish that through different videos, talking to different people, and just really picking the brains of the company.
Okay. So in a nutshell, here's your basic 3 to 5 steps to do this. If you're a district office manager, there's 2 of you in this room who got that position. I would do the same thing, but with your district manager. Okay. Number 1 is review grants plan to get an idea. And maybe could someone type this up and send it on WhatsApp? Can I have a volunteer to do this? Man, thank you. So steps to setting up your sprint plan. Number 1, review the grant strategy plan because it's a great template. And technically, if you copied it, it would be good. But if you just copy, but you don't understand the whys and the objectives, then you're not really getting benefit. So look at grants plan. Number 2, connect on a PC with your manager. And I would say district manager or me. Okay. Now I'll be less accessible than your district manager in the next couple of weeks. So just note that. And if you're from the pilot, I would go to Luke, myself, or Delgado, depending on Luke or myself, I would say, because David's busy. Okay, so step number 1, look over the plan. Step number 2. Step number 3, create your own version of it. Step number 4, get approval from another PC or someone to take a look at. That's why I'm giving you till the banquets. It can take a couple. Get approval, get some eyes on it after you put your plan together. And last thing, number 5, is compare it to the syllabus I'm going to give you next week. There's going to be a syllabus on how to study training, and make sure it lines up. And then you're ready to roll. And then I guess last one's not really step 5, but it's the final submit. We'll say submit by 9 a.m. on Friday the 26th. Amanda, when you're ready, we'll post that. It'll be due to me no later than 9 a.m. The Friday will be in Atlanta. Questions or additional thoughts from people who have done this before successfully? The Lukes of the world, the new districts of the world who put together a game plan. Any additional?
I would say,
oh, Luke, go ahead.
I'd say, just create assignments for yourself and make sure you hold yourself accountable to them. Find someone within your circle of influence going into the similar position as you and have them hold you accountable as well. Because it's really easy to, especially the first few weeks, just kind of, let's say you want to script a certain video, just to accidentally miss it, and then the next week you have 2 things to do and all of a sudden the work piles up. And, especially with Facebook, if you get behind on your Facebook deadlines, it's really hard to make it back up. So just making sure that you create assignments for yourself, have like an assignment culture with what you do and the way you schedule, and in your power hour, make sure you have a specific time that you plan on doing each thing. And just make it a lot simpler, and training will be a breeze.
And to your point, let me give you a couple of time frame expectations. So for training, I would allot 1 to 2 hours a week just to review, script, or watch training. And I'll talk about that later. But 1 to 2 hours, depending on your schedule. 1 to 2 hours a week to cover training. If you're a district office manager appointee, you don't need to learn training. So use those 1 or 2 hours for something else. But I would still know the objectives. Number 2, I would spend 30 minutes, and Luke, maybe you chime in here, 30 minutes to an hour a day for Facebook class, or a week for Facebook. How much time would you need weekly for Facebook friending? Luke, what do you think? Weekly, how much time is a lot if you're getting?
I would probably do a couple hours a week. You're saying for friending?
Yeah, so if I want to get 150 to 200 friends a week as a branch, how many hours a week?
Yeah, I'd say probably 2 hours, maybe 3, depending on. Probably early on, it's going to take a lot more because you don't have as many mutual friends. Once you get the mutual friends, it starts to go a lot quicker. But just make sure early on, I just throw like a show that I've watched before on Netflix up on the left, and then Facebook on the right, and I just go through and do them all. It's pretty simple.
Like The Blacklist with James Spader?
If you've seen it before, I suggest a show you've seen before so you don't have to pay full attention to it. But you can see it
like Entourage.
Yeah.
Okay, ready? So
next assignment: watch first 3 seasons of Entourage before next time.
So what? So check it. 1 to 2 hours for Facebook. We'll call it 2 hours plus for Facebook. Okay. I'll just call it 2 hours for the training seminar, and then 1 to 2 hours for your growth plan. Okay. So that's going to be roughly, and if you want to put more, I'll call it 6 to 8, 6 to 10 hours a week. So what you have to do is really break that down to about 1.5 hours a day, if you think about it. Rough, give or take, depending how many days. You might be I have classes Tuesday, Thursday, so Monday, Wednesday, Friday. This was Luke last semester before the Pilot's $1 Million Summer. I think it was Tuesdays or Wednesdays was his cut day. He would just jam the whole thing. I don't care how you do it. But what's 6 to 8 hours equivalent to credit wise? What's that?
2 classes.
1 or 2 classes?
Yeah.
So I would call this the work of 1 class, but a real class, not like bowling. I took bowling. It's awesome. Like one real class where you've got 2 days of lecture, or 2 days a week of lecture, and you have to do study time. So call it 6 to 8 hours a week. So you're essentially adding a class. So make sure when you do your schedule, don't just put your school classes. Put this class, class of business growth for Cutco. Any questions or comments? Okay. I also sent a picture. Please check it on the WhatsApp. It's the Facebook benchmarks. This should also be part of your assignment culture. So here's what's cool in my calendar, and I don't even do the framing myself. Every month I've got. Can you guys see me? Okay. Every month I've got the benchmark for how many friends I should have at that point. So, and this is for everyone in the room and on virtual. So take these benchmarks, and you notice it says there's an AM pace. Why is the AM pace, or let me the better way to say it, why is the branch pace faster and larger than an AM pace? Can anyone want to guess as to why? We would expect, for example, by February the 13th, I'd expect an assistant, at least in the pilot, they won't have less than 300, but they should have 500 plus new for their territory. And then a branch, I expect 500, no doubt.
First off, most branches won't have assistants, so they'll be doing it by themselves.
Okay, so number one, you're not spread. That's the first part. You're not spreading it out over assistants. Like Carlos, for example, will have multiple people friending. Okay, you get all the friends. It's all on your account. There's a second reason. It has to do with mentality.
I was gonna say not mentality wise, but I was gonna say you're starting from scratch, so you really need to. I mean, you don't already have mutual friends. You really have to get on it sooner.
Okay, well, that's close to my point. Ready? Your business that you're putting your money on depends on it. So there's a little bit more when you have, it's called skin in the game. Ever heard that before? When you have skin in the game, it's like, oh, wait. It's so funny how much harder you work to, and when it's your office, how much cleaner you want that office to be, and so forth and so forth. Not unless you're from the pilot where every office is going to be clean. All of you from the pilot. Red zone, okay? Questions on the Facebook friending. Once you get your territory, you can roll with adding friends. In fact, our first deadline is going to be, let me make sure I know this here. By the year in banquet, you should already have close to 200 plus. I would say 200 plus for your territory. 1 to 200. 100 if you messed up, but 200, probably 200 plus going into your banquet. And then the next deadline is going to be 500 by mid-February, right after Punta Cana. Or Punta Cana. Punta Cana. Go to Punta Cana? I love Punta Cana. Questions, comments on the benchmarks? Okay. Last few thoughts and we'll go to break. Okay. So Grant, thank you for that leadership on your plan. Office searching. Hey, it's really getting real. You guys are getting offices. What? Let me give you some benchmarks now. At the year in banquet, I'll cover more strategies on what you're going to need to do like research-wise. And then in February, it's full-blown, like buttoning up. Okay? So turn to your calendars or make a note for your calendar. Okay, so if you take a note, you don't have it in your calendar. Our next prep is February 17th. Okay. Luke, do me a favor. Can you WhatsApp me to send out the calendar right during the break, please? Send out the calendar. And the link for calls. Calendar link for calls. Okay, thank you. Our next prep is February the 17th. Got it so far? Give me a thumbs up if you understand that. If you got it. I was trying to think of something creative. February 17th is the next prep. February 16th, your first round of office search leads are due. I'll explain what that means later. So the Friday the 16th on the by 9 p.m., one of the assignments will be for you to submit your first round of office searching leads. Okay.
Is the TLA prep on Saturday the same 9 to 2?
I'm going to cover that in just a bit. Good question. Good question. That prep. Okay, so the prep is the 17th. That'll be from 12 to 5. And that will be virtual hubs. Okay, including me. I'll be virtual to all of you. So Clearwater will be in Clearwater, Tampa and Tampa, Pilot and Pilot, or Pilot with Miami. Tally and Tally. Okay. So here's what's really important for that. That's from 12 to 5. That prep is 12 to 5, not 9 to 2. The only reason this is 9 to 2 is I'm flying to Vegas tonight for P Banquet. Got it? Hey, hello. So first round of office leads are due on Friday the 16th. Okay. Second round of office leads are due by March the 2nd. By March the 2nd. And then final round of office leads due. Final round of office leads due is March 12th. It's a Monday. Okay. I'll do it one more time. And Miss Amanda, maybe a little WhatsApp on this one too. So the 3 benchmark. First one, again, February 16th. First round of office leads, and those will be virtual leads. So you can put first round leads virtual. February 16th. And then March 2nd and March 12th. Those are live leads. And I'll explain the difference in a few seconds there. So once you know your territory, the thing you can impact right now is friending for Facebook. Second thing you want to do, and you can do once I give you the guidelines at your banquet, is start to go onto the internet, and there's specific websites. You guys know it's loopnet.com, and you can look at all real estate, commercial and business real estate, to find out which offices might be viable. And so imagine this. Imagine I'm a Cutka rep, and you guys are all my assistants that do all my phone time and attack lists for me. And imagine I gave you all my recommendations, and your job is to call them all and find out who the Macs are. And if they're not a Mac, you take them off my list, and you present me with a list of only. Like, how cool would that be if you had someone to do that? Imagine if you had someone to preliminarily call all of your leads to see. Okay, I want Tristan to only call Macs from these lists. That's essentially what you're doing for us. You're going to go on the internet for the first round, get a whole bunch of spaces that look like they might work, call them up, read a script I'm going to give to you. That's all you have to do. There's no thinking. You don't have to be good with real estate. You just have to know how to read the damn page. Sir, question. No, check, check, check. If it checks all the boxes, you keep it on the attack list. If it doesn't check, you cross it off. That's that easy. But you have to do the legwork. And then you'll submit that. And then the second 2 deadlines are live. You're going to go to your territory or work something out where someone goes for you to look at all the spaces there that aren't advertised online. In fact, right now I could probably go into this area within a 1-mile radius of Carlos's office. And I mean, I'm sure even across the street with all those food markets, I'm sure if I walked into there and asked if they knew the landlord, I could call the landlord, and there might be a space vacancy that is not on the internet, because landlords don't want to sometimes put it on the internet because they have to pay an agent to market the office. And when they pay the agent, that means they have to give their cut to the agent. So if I'm a small mom and pop pizzeria and I have a space available, I want to save that money. I'll just put a sign up that says for rent. Is that how you got your office? There you go. Cool. And you found it, right? You saw it? Nice job driving around. Let me forewarn everyone, because every year there's one. Every year there's one. Don't be that guy or girl. Last year was one guy, one girl. Don't be that guy or girl who doesn't get your assignments done with office searching, and it impacts your office in the most negative way financially, and you're late to the game. Because if that's the case, then every one of you will have a district manager or myself appointed to helping you find your office. If you don't follow through on your end of getting the leads, you're on your own. and you have to do all the work that the district manager is supposed to do. And you don't want to do that, trust me. Cool? Last person that did that, well, we no longer talk about him. I'm just kidding, it's a joke because he's here.
R.I.P.
All right, that's right. Any questions?
R.I.P. in peace.
Questions, comments? Okay. Next level calls. I will put up the dates on WhatsApp, but let me give you the days we're gonna have next level calls. If you're not a next level member, you're welcome to start hopping on these calls. Okay, this was a call series we had on Mondays for just next level group, but now that you're an A squad, it'll be turned into the A squad call. And we have some really positive topics that help move the business. So in January, we will have our first one on January 29th. And I'm going to email a calendar that has all this. Okay. January 29th, 5 to 6 p.m. I'm sorry, what time do we do them?
4:15.
4:15 to 5:15. 4:15 to 5:15, Monday the 29th. In February, it's February the 19th. 4:15 to 5:15. And Miss Amanda, same thing, please, if you could. Then in March, it's 12th and 19th. So no, we only have 4, not 12.
What was the last one?
I'll go one more time. January 29th,
Okay.
February 19th, March 12th and 19th. Okay, and notice next level, who was on them before, we only have 4. So we'll make them count. Okay, any questions? Outstanding. It is now 10:26. What I'd like you to do is post on the WhatsApp, on the TLA WhatsApp. Make sure you star the dates that Amanda's posting. Post on the WhatsApp, biggest takeaway. And one thing you appreciate, we'll go to break for 10 minutes. It's now 10:26. We'll reconvene in 10. So 10:37. 10:37 reconvene. We do other quick takeaways from first session here. We're gonna roll into heavy instruction just a bit. Other quick takeaways. Look through your notes. What stands out? Time to process. You got a chance to go take a little pee-pee. Tinkle. What takeaways? Virtual and live. Takeaways so far.
What is this? Look like Michael Moore.
All right, kids, let's go through your notes. I want to see.
Go shopping.
Give me biggest takeaways from our first session here.
What's happening?
Virtual, you can just yell it out. Otherwise, we'll go live here. Big takeaways from the first session.
So making sure you have your spring plan.
Yeah, there's a lot of planning. I've given you every possible date. The calendar just went out. You've got everything. I mean, you know when every call is. You even know when all the district's calls are. You know when the events are. You know when the preps are. You have the times for everything. So there really should be.
You have like a power day instead of a power hour.
Yeah, power day. Put this onto your calendar and you're ready to roll. And if you're a next level member, I'm okay with you penciling some of the summer stuff. You have all the dates. You have everything in the summer tentatively, and you have all the preps for the fall now. I mean, everything is in the calendar for the year. So, just got to get the detail. And I think for next level members, it's okay to go through the calendar and put the summer because you can kind of envision how the summer is going to unveil and when SE2 starts, when's the push week, when's the prep for the push week, all that good stuff. Other takeaways. Let's go through it quickly before we're going to get re-engaged for Carlos here. Ella.
Just going through all the key skills and experiences that you want to earn, then realizing all you can receive of it. I can receive all of the ones I set through branch.
Okay, good.
It's real. It's pretty real.
It is definitely real. We are here. Everyone, if you could pull up the photo, I'll put it up on the. If you're a virtual, if you want to pull up the photo that looks like this, please. Okay. And then for you guys up here. Okay. So you should have gone through, and I got most of the assignments. I haven't checked if any of you missed it. I don't believe anyone missed it last night. I don't expect rarely anyone. But this was a session we ran for next level members. Okay, let me unmute this. Hold on. Sorry, folks. Okay, this was a session we ran for next level members, and it represents the basic function schedule. So in below is what you'll run as a branch manager or a new district manager, like all the different things you do from phone jam on Sunday to rep-driven PRs, and you'll get more and more familiar. Every prep, we're going to cover 3 things all the time, from today, and then in February, and then heavy in March. We're always going to cover PRs. We're always going to cover Facebook updates, and we're also in general, and then we're also going to cover first 10-day management. And PDI, it's kind of the same thing. So I want you to be really equipped with understanding, bless you, how PDI works, how to get reps to each event. So give me some takeaways as you debrief that video. So pull out your notes that you sent over from the next level first 10-day management discussion that we had. A couple of you reviewed it last night. So give me some takeaways from that. It's going to be based off of this picture. Go ahead, Ellen. This is your first time watching it because you weren't next level. Go ahead.
Yeah, so just basic stuff like you haven't even been to advanced training yet, and just asking open-ended questions to make sure you get, or you're listening to them and you can respond in the way that they want to hear it, but it's still helping and guiding them towards their goals.
Okay, good. So we're using 81 as the benchmark. Good. Even those of you that went through it, go ahead, Dalila, you've already been through it.
I mean, even Kathy and even Scott Dennis talk about this, but there's a certain way you can ask questions to lead them to the right answers, and like just kind of going off of Ella, just asking those questions really open-endedly rather than telling.
Managing through questions. No one, even reps, not you, not your parents, want to be told what to do. Am I right? Can we all agree to that? No one likes to be yapped at. So tell me what to do. You're not the boss of me. Sorry. Right, Tyler? Oh, yeah. What else? This is important because as Carlos comes up, Carlos is going to focus on the first weekend again. And we're going to keep hitting these over and over again. Jeff, we did this already. Yeah, but can you do it? Jeff, I've heard this already. Yeah, but can you implement it? Jeff, I've seen this before multiple times. Yes, but can you pull off what we're talking about? And we're going to keep it really, really basic. We're not going to show you how to run a fancy team meeting. We're not going to show you how to run a fancy alliance yet. Right now is how do you get great people on your team? How do you get them through first 10 days? You do that, we're in business. Other takeaways from the video, real quick, before I bring Carlos up. How about from those of you that went through this exercise? We were in Tally. This is the one from Tally. So for those of you that were there, a lot of you were there, or those of you that got a chance to review the video, you should have reviewed the video. Other takeaways, even in virtual land, please. Jeez, not all at once. Giovanni.
That 50% of a rep's career is in the first 10 days.
Okay, we covered that the last prep. Good. Yeah. So that's just creating urgency for first weekend. Dalila.
I mean, really just with scheduling, like you have to make sure you take the time for the VI. That's so important, and people neglect it sometimes, and even me. So, you know, a big thing is just making sure it's in the schedule and you follow the schedule.
Yeah, what's great, Dalila, about our business now? There's a lot of texting that helps, and people are apt to checking updates and people who notifications and oh, my friend just posted, I want to check that out. So they're apt to being on their phone. So we use a lot of WhatsApp for that, but there's still power in live PDI. In fact, if you remember, this is next level. There are 2 days we focus on having live PDI. These are the 2 big days where there's a lot of live, and the other days we technically could just go all day with just WhatsApp if we were that busy as a branch manager. What are the 2 live days? Tuesday, Friday. Now in Clearwater, it's Tuesday, Thursday, which is fine. And Mike and I are having a conversation about which one's which. There are benefits to both. Now, whatever we decide for the summer, we'll all go in that direction. But it's Tuesday and it's one of the days right after the team meeting, Thursday or Friday. And in the pilot, Luke has deemed that benchmark PDI for Friday. In Clearwater, it's striking while the iron's hot and talking to someone right after the Wednesday team meeting. It's a similar concept. Okay. I'm going to have Carlos come up and give you some keys on first weekend, first 10 days. Let's just do a little bit of review. You can take notes on this and help me out here. What percentage of a rep's career comes in the first 10 days? What is it?
50%.
Yeah, 50%. 50%. What percent of that first 10 days comes in the first weekend?
50%.
50%. So in theory, if you know math, what percentage? Oh gosh, what the hell? Carry the 9. What percentage? If 50%, okay, ready? If 50% of okay, $10,000 if a rep sells, how much of that should they sell in their fast start? In theory, 5,000. How much of that 5,000 should come within their first weekend? 2,500. So what percentage out of the 10,000 comes first weekend? A quarter. That's a lot. In the grand scheme of things, that is a lot of business that happens, and that's why we have to focus on the first weekend. I said this at the last prep. I actually rewatched the December 12th prep for this meeting, and I said something, and I said, "Wow, that's a nice job, Jeff." I complimented myself. Weird. And it's that I could have a manager that gets really good at first weekend, and they're terrible at retention. They'll have a team meeting with 8 to 10 people the whole summer, even though they're launching 5 to 10 new people, only 8 to 10 at the meeting. 5 to 10 new people, only 8 to 10 at the meeting. Branches who've done that before. That was my first branch. Man, the meeting never got bigger, even though I kept launching. But I sold a lot of Cutco from those reps that launched because my first weekend business was strong. And what that equates to is a lot of people having successful first weekend, but the job's not for them after, or they run out of people to call, or these are things that are symptoms of not having good first 10-day management. Okay, I'm going to have Carlos focus on keys to what you say, how you follow up, what do you prioritize from the day you launch, which in our case will be Friday, launch on a Friday. What happens on Saturday when there are no major office functions, and you can take note of this, I would say. Carlos, you're using the board, right? Yeah. Okay. So there's Friday. Can you still see Maggie and Brandon? Okay. So there's Friday. When we launch. Saturday, it's a full day. No major office. I mean, we'll have interview probably, a good planning day. Some other things up first, some other tricks up first sleeve. Sunday, what's the big thing on Sunday? If you're a first year, you've never run an office. What happens on Sunday? For your office, not for your launch. Phone jam, yeah, phone jam and PCs. And then Monday for Miss Ella, what happens on Monday after rep launches? What do they show up to? Advanced training. So this is AT1. This is the rep phone jam. This is an open day. We're just going to focus on here, not all that stuff. Okay? Cool. So Carlos is going to give a few keys. We're going to debrief right afterwards. And one thing that's really cool with Carlos, I've watched him when he wasn't on his game with first weekend and when he's on his game with first weekend. And arguably, and you could argue with Mike and of course the pilot, our three offices, there were weekends where there was no business. We had no business shipping as much business out of, in that case, Tallahassee at the time. First weekend, it would be, oh, we launched 5, they sold $10,000. Right? So really what it should be, so some of you are giving this blank look, which I understand. When a rep launches, first weekend, CPO. Take note of this. What is a bare minimum, and Linda, we were talking about this, kind of productivity. What's a good first weekend pop, meaning by the time they come to advanced training 1 and finish up on Monday, how much should they have sold? That's like, okay, you at least have an office open. It's not good, but you have an office open. 500. Yep, 500. Meaning, if it's below 500, it's one of those things that says you are just not even following the program. So if I have 10 reps launch and they sell less than $2,000, something's majorly broke. But if I launch 10 reps and they sell $5,000, okay, well, not great, but I'm there. Okay. 1,000 plus is the benchmark. So if I have 10 people launch on Friday, by Monday after advanced training, they should be all at 1,000. So 10 people out, $10,000 pop. In the pilot with Luke, we were getting double. And so our average rep was coming back to advanced training 1 at 1,000, and they would sell another $1,000 after. So we were getting that average. In some weeks, okay? And so one of the things I'm real confident with Carlos, I could have given him any message today to help me out and run the prep. But the message I specifically wanted him focused on was how do you drive reps first weekend? Because it doesn't matter to me. Here's the name of the game. You might not have, let's say Rhiannon's a veteran. She's a new district manager. She's got way more experience than me. If I'm hung up on the reports, and I look at the reports and, oh, Sarasota with 21 in training and I had 4. Don't play that game. Do that. Oh, well, Rhiannon's got more people. Ready? You should have the mentality, well, I've got 4. Okay, I'm going to get him to 4,000. But maybe I could probably pop an 8. And at the end of the day, we've had office. Some of you have run offices where you're launching more than most of the region, but you didn't ship more than the rest of the region. So it's not just a matter of we're not in the business of just launching people to say we finished training. We're in the business of sales. Cool? So let me bring up Carlos a different way. When you think of Carlos, what are some positive, endearing things you think about when you think of Carlos Cordero? Charisma. Smooth operator. What else? Endearing, positive thing, swaggy. What else do you think of?
Growth-oriented.
I think growth-oriented. I think on self. Growth on self, but on purpose as well. I also think you are, this is weird to say, Carlos, I think veteran district manager. When I knew Carlos when he was my pilot, he was 20 years old. And now one of our top veteran district managers. Pretty cool. So without further ado, to talk about first weekend, let's give rhythmic snaps to Carlos Cordero. Faster. Cordero.
Thank you. All right. So I love the intro and the review because you did a lot of the setup and the groundwork of the message. However, one point I want to make is that, okay, it is their first weekend and it's 25% of their career. And there's some managers that are like, well, that's only 25%. There's like 3/4. Here's the thing. It's the first 25%. So if you don't get that, you don't get the other 3/4. That's got to ring a bell. I remember I was at President's Banquet 2 years ago, and there was this guy, and he was telling me, I'm not going to say the name, he's a DM, and if you're DM, you know him. And he's like, yeah, man, I'm so drained after training. I just don't talk. I'm like, how the hell do you launch so many people and your office only sells like this much in new? Like, you guys did like 400 new last year. Like, what are you doing? He's like, I'm just so drained after training. I'm like, so you're going to tell me you are run the training, you ran the practice, and when the game came, you were just like, all right, team, you guys got it. Like, that's what it's like when you don't show up the right way for your people. You know what I mean? It's like you promise them in the interview, like, we're going to take care of you, and our team culture's this, and in training, it's you guys going to kill it. And it's like, out of training, it's like, yeah, good luck. No support. So it's very important, not just from a business standpoint, but from an integrity standpoint, that you make sure first weekend's handled, you know? And if you're a first-time branch, second-time branch, if you're a branch manager, period, or in your first year as a DM, like, you own first weekend PDI, right? Like, now, it was Orlando was asking, this is my 4th full year as a district manager. So yes, I take Sundays off. Like, yes, I don't take all the PDI calls because I have to make sure that the DMs, the branches going out can do it. So make sure you don't get it twisted, or people are like, well, if you do, you know, I've had this 11 summers, this is my 11th summer, so shouldn't be taking all the first weekend PDI. And if I still am, it's like, should probably learn how to develop, right? So one of the things I'm going to break this down with a couple of general focuses of what I'm thinking about, right, as I'm doing first week, and then I'm going to break it down by day. I'm going to give you like a big 4, not big 3. I give you 1 more, right, for every part of it. So general focuses. Number 1 is stat tracking. So the first general focus is stat tracking. So having some sort of system where it's either a grid, it's a list maybe, but you have to have everyone's demos and what times they are, so you can track those stats, like knowing every demo, what was sold, how many recommendations did they get, when's your next appointment, right? But if you don't have those in front of you, it's kind of hard to drive anything. You're just collecting, okay? So general stat tracking. Number 2 is sharing hot news on every phone call. Like, that's standard every single day. It's like sharing hot news every call. And there's different ways to do it, right? Like, one of my ways is I use it as an example, right? So Eddie calls me from his first demo. He's like, yeah, you know, I just finished my appointment, and I already know the tone, right? It's like, okay, so how'd it go? It's like, oh, I didn't really get anything. Hey, no big deal. Hey, man, by the way, can I give you a small tip? Hey, Jackson called me from his first appointment. He thought they were going to get anything, but he called me before he left. We were able to close a buy 3, get 1 free on our favorite nines. So, hey, on your next appointment, just make sure you do that. And by the way, another thing I didn't want to let you know, Rhiannon called me from her first appointment, didn't think the customer was going to get anything, and we were able to talk to them, and we offered a secret weapon deal, and the lady ended up getting a homemaker. So, hey, man, on your next appointment. So I did 2 things. I taught, but I also shared hot news. Other people are selling, right? So always sharing hot news in every way, shape, or form that you can find. Third big key is I focus on creating the right habits versus results, because those habits are going to lead to success. So, for example, you know, Eddie calls me. He's like, yeah, I shouldn't get anything. But Eddie, man, here's the thing. Can I be honest with you? Well, I already knew you didn't sell. Well, you didn't call me on page 9, right? So on page 9, what did we write in your manual, like real big and sharp? Oh, yeah. Hey, man, on your next one, just focus on that. Because if you do the right things, you follow directions, your results are going to come. And hey, you've got like 9 more appointments ahead of you. Your sales are right. So it's like a light way of like, I kind of knew. First of all, I could tell in the tone. Second of all, the habits, right? So creating the right habits, and here are their habits, right? 4th key, read, cut, smile, call. That's all I want to implement. Read, cut, smile, call. Read, cut, smile, call. Hey, did you read the manual? Like, Jackson calls me, oh, I sold, homemaker. Hey, nice job. How did you read the manual? Yeah. What'd you cut? Oh, I cut a pineapple. Oh, cool. Did you have fun? It sounds like it. I could hear your smile with fun. And you call it. Yeah, dude, keep it up. Pretty easy, right? Like, reaffirming that it's simple. This is an easy one, right? How do we always react to no matter what result it is? Even keel, super cool. It's like, oh, I sold the kitchen. Oh, nice. Oh, I sold the trimmer. Hey, not bad, right? Like, sold the homemaker. Cool. So even keel. And then here's the 3 key phrases that I'm always using, right? 3 key phrases or 3 key questions. And again, this is spread over the entire first weekend. What'd you learn? All right. What'd you learn? Obviously, right? Hey, what'd you learn? Oh, sold a homemaker. Hey, what'd you learn? Oh, hey, sold a trimmer. What'd you learn? Hey, I didn't get anything. Hey, what'd you learn? Right? You haven't what? Exactly, right? Oh, sold a homemaker. You haven't even had an advanced training one yet. No sale? Hey, man, don't worry about it. You haven't had an advanced training one yet, right? And then the last one that I use a lot is, so tell me, on a scale of 1 to 10, right? How closely did you like read your manual, right? And 1 being like you left it in the car, and 10 being you didn't even look at the customer, you don't even remember what she looks like. What would you say? And usually it's a 7, right? And then I got this from Denny. He goes, Hey, 7? If this was school, that'd be a 70. You get like a C, man. So how would you feel about getting a 70 or a C? So, hey, a big tip I'd give you on your next appointment, can you be like a 9 or 10? Eye contact's not important your first weekend. They know you. Focus on reading the book, word for word. It's the best script out there, okay? You'll get it, right? So that's a big one. So those are some general focuses. So let's talk about Friday. First thing I always focus on Friday, and this happens during the training, right? Whoa. Fight for 10. Okay, so I'm going to fight for 10 demos. If I've got to run the phone jam a little bit longer, if I have to tell a kid at the end of training, hey, you've only got 6, I'll give you a big tip. Hey, your first appointment is until tomorrow. I've still got to clean up the office. Let's get on the phones. I need you to book up 3 more, right? And then running training a little bit longer. They're there while you're cleaning up and everything for an extra 15, 20, 30 minutes. Get some extra phone time in. If I have a sharp kid that's only got a couple, yeah, he will miss the contract talk, and I'll say, hey, you need to keep you need to go in the other room. Let's get you to 10. So fight to get to 10 appointments, because there's a lot of times where kids will go like, I've seen kids go 0 for 4, and then they go 6 for 6 right after. Yeah. It's like, oh, go figure, 60% sales ratio, and oh, you know. You just got to get 10, right? Safety in numbers.
Say it again.
Second,
Say it again like that.
Yeah. All right, so the next one, fight for 10. I think fight for first sale, first demo. First sale, first demo. So I'm always talking about how important that is, and this is handled in the PC during training.
You don't need this at all, Ted?
No.
I'll come back to this. Move this
So
and see it.
first sale, first demo. And I set that up in the PC. So I go, hey, who's your first appointment with? They're like, oh, okay, my mom. Do you think she's your number 1 customer? Okay, who on here is your number 1 customer? Why? Okay. Hey, is there anything you could show her tonight? Well, yeah, I guess I could. Yeah, I would do that. I want you to get your first appointment, first sale. Your confidence goes through the roof. So I'll move the demos, right? Hey, who's your first appointment with? Tell me about them. And they could start off with like, oh, it's my uncle. Cool, is he married? No. I mean, okay, cool. What's he do for a living? Well, you know. Okay, what do you think he'll buy? So I'm not reacting as they're telling me, but I'm going to keep asking questions. So what do you think they'll buy? Okay. Now, who do you think is your best person? Okay. Is there any way we can see them tonight instead? Right? So I always fight to schedule that first demo and the first sale. And under that same banner, first demo, first sale, I think the most important part about Friday PDI, now that we're in like the PDI state, speak to customers. Speak to customers on page 9. When your kids see you, say, hey, they like the homemaker? Okay. What's her name? Miss Susie? How do you know her? Oh, it's your neighbor? Okay. Yeah, just put her on speaker. Hey, Miss Susie, this is Carlos Corderos. Is Giovanni out there doing a good job? Oh, yeah. You're his first presentation. Thank you so much for helping him out. And then I say, he mentions that you kind of like the set, you know, and you just kind of go with it from there. Like he mentions that like the set. What is it? Is it too much for the price? Too much for the budget? What is it? Oh, I like it. Okay, well, hey, we have a special deal, and you know what to do from there. That kid, for the rest of the weekend, for the rest of their career, they're like, and then they come to advanced training like, yo, just call. Like that's what I just call. And then you start setting the right habits. So I like speaking to customers, and what's cool is you do it on the first night, like that Friday. You don't really have to do it on Saturday and Sunday. And you might still, and here's the funny thing, when you do it on Saturday and Sunday, that's when you get that 1K, 2K pop first weekend, right? This was the missing ingredient for us to get to 1K. We had the 1K in the summer for sure, but it was until I was like, okay, I'm just going to make sure I have all these kids calling me on page 9 on every demo their first weekend. And I talk to customers and close deals. And then you can kind of figure out too, is it the wrong customer, or is the kid not doing the demo the right way? You can kind of tell from when you're speaking to the customer. You're like, oh, wow, this kid's doing appointment with, you can tell in the voice, right? And the fourth and final thing for Friday is just building confidence. Everything's about building confidence. Everything. Got your first sale. Hey, nice, not bad, not bad. Worse. First one's always the toughest, right? Got a no sale. Oh, your first appointment's always the hardest appointment. No worries. There's a lot more tomorrow. You'll be fine. I sold 4 knives. Hey, it's bigger than my first sale. If it's true, right? My first sale was like 2 knives. Oh yeah, I sold like $300. Hey, bigger than my first sale. Let it go. AL's bigger than Jackson's for sale. He's our number one rep in the office. So way to go. It's like, oh, really? Like anything you can do to build confidence always is important. So that's the last one, build confidence. I'm going to run out of room. So I'm going to stop writing on the board. Saturday, okay? So my number one focus for Saturday, if I had to go in the morning, it's speak to every rep before their first appointment. So never let a rep go into a demo cold on that Saturday. And the whole focus is it is a new day, right? So today's a new day. You're either building them up from the day before, sharing hot news again, right? I just want to let you know the training class is making moves. You are up. You are up. And hey, don't worry. I know yesterday you got your first snow sale. You got it out of the way, right? You have 10 this weekend. So even if you're like one of the best reps in the office and you're closing 80 to 90%, you're going to get 1 or 2 no sales. So that just means you got yours out of the way. So giving them the right perspective going into the day is really important. Not waiting till they call you after their first demo to shape the mindset. That's really important. And, I always call kids before demos to get them pumped up. Who you're seeing? What are you excited about? Hey, how do you know her? You've been to her house before? Do you know if she likes to cook? Okay, what are you bringing to cut? Oh, it's like, oh, dude, here's the thing. You need to cut a piece of bread. Just cut the little corner off. Get a grape. Okay. You still at your house, right? Yeah, grab it. Do you guys have a carrot in your fridge? Yeah, bring that too, right? So little things to reminders is huge. The second big focus of Saturday is implement the habit of 5 before, 5 after. Because on Friday, when they launch at 6 or 7, you're not going to, they finish their first demo at 8:30 or 9. It's like, hey, make 5 quick phone calls isn't really a habit to instill. But on Saturday, there's no excuse. You talk to the kid at 9 a.m. or 10 a.m. It's like, hey, big tip, make 5 quick phone calls before your next appointment, and then shoot me a text and let me know how many you set. And then you start to see if they do it their first weekend, they'll do it for their career. But if they don't do it their first weekend, it's hard to add that. It's a big thing to remember. Third key for Saturday is as soon as they hit their first promo, they get the text Jeff conversation, which it's a template that you should just keep in your notes section on your phone. Michael Bromwitz wrote it up. It's like, hey, when you hit your first promotion, I don't even know the verbiage because I just copy and paste it. But it's get on the division manager's radar and boom, send it to them. And they'll always respond with, yeah. And then once they hit their first promotion, they text Jeff, and then they're on there. Okay. So, and the last thing is I want to get the WhatsApp culture going on Saturday. The first day on the job, get the first day, hey, post on the WhatsApp. And then making sure that you are monitoring doing the job, right? Make sure you're monitoring that. Whoa, that's awesome. Be like, they're just doing the job, right? You monitor for them. What I used to do in the past was I used to not add people that were popping up. Like, for example, remember this Tracer Parrish, right? Alex remembers this summer. He was at $6,000 for the first weekend. Like, he was at like $4,000 by Friday night or like Saturday afternoon. And I didn't add him to the WhatsApp chat because I didn't want everyone else on the team to blow him up. See what I mean? It's because I waited to get the WhatsApp culture. But now that wouldn't happen because from every weekend, you do it once or twice and then your team understands like it's just doing the job. It's not that crazy. So that's Saturday. Okay. Sunday, 4 keys for Sunday. Number 1 is firm up advanced training 1. That's the number 1 thing. Firm up advanced training 1. So, hey, tomorrow we have advanced training 1. Do you know what time that starts? Okay, cool. The second thing I'm going to do is I'm going to make sure that they have an hour of phone jam in their schedule. So, hey, what time are you making your calls today? So that way you can arrive with 5. That's the second key. It's not just hour of phone jam. It's the arrive with 5. And I think some offices this summer I'll implement a prize, like a drawing for arrive with 5. It'll be probably a gas card or something, or I don't know. I'd probably switch it up here and there, make it something cooler in the bigger seminars. But just remember, we're not spending money on receptionists. Like I used to stroke $1,500 checks every single Wednesday for receptionists. So it's like, cool. I'll probably throw out like, I don't know, concert tickets or something in there. Something cool to get kids like, oh, I'm going for it. So 1 hour phone jam in the schedule because it's arrival 5. The third key with Sunday is I firm up Champions Club for the next morning because they on Friday were like, yeah, I'll be there, but if you don't firm them up, they're not going to show up on Monday. So you got to run them. And the fourth final thing is I prep PRs. So I let them know, hey, you get some text messages from friends. Yeah. Hey, by the way, you've already got 17 set. What the heck? So reminding them how important, and all you do is click the PR schedule tab, and all of the PRs set for the week will show up. Also, it's important to send the PRs on Friday, so we have these conversations Sunday. See, if you wait to send them on Sunday, because here's what happens in some offices: they don't send them Friday, they don't do the duplicate stuff. They might do it Saturday, or they forget Saturday, and then the first thing they get in their office Sunday is they do the duplicates and send them on Sunday at like 3. So you walk into Monday and Monday's not booked. However, when you send them on Friday, they have 3 days to book, and by Monday your interviews are fat. So Andrew Evans was the first one to get on. He was talking to me. He's like, dude, we would fight to get all the duplicates out because if we send them out Saturday or Sunday, you have less set for Monday's interviews. So, and when they get the text here, they text a friend, right? And the friend's popping off. And then some people that wouldn't have an interview are having an interview now because their friend is doing well. Make sense? So send them as soon as possible. It's not my talk, but I think it's important to prep them on Sunday. Let them know how many have been set, because everybody is going to get that 1 or 2 text messages like don't ever recommend me for anything ever again. Like, I don't tell the training class it's going to happen anymore just because I don't even want that vibe. But I already know they're going to get 1 text like that or 2. But when you get 1 text like that or 2, they think that that's the vibe. But then when you tell them, oh, by the way, you have like 15 set for interviews, just so you know, that 1 or 2 doesn't matter. It's like, oh, wow, I did not know that. So focus on the positive, right? So that's Sunday. Monday, 4 things, right? Make sure that they have demos after advanced training 1. Make sure they have at least 1 appointment after they leave advanced training 1. Ideally, they have 2 to 3 or 4. The second thing that I focus on is I want to PC my number 1 fast starter either before or after advanced training. So typically, if advanced training is at 10, I get my number 1 fast starter at 9:15 or at 9. Be like, hey, you and I at 9, we're going to meet. And I map out their 10, and then I do the 10K PC, where I basically say, hey, you're on pace. Here's how it maps out. Here's what's up for grabs. We could talk about that later, but I do a 10K PC there, either before or after. Ideal world, I do a 10K PC before, and I do another one right after with my top 2. And just knock it out right there as early as possible. On Tuesday, you get, the rest of them that you think have the shot. Anyone over $1,000 to $1,500. It just gets busier in the summer, so depending on the schedule when your interview is. But I would always give myself at least a little bit of time between advanced training 1 and my first interview so I can PC my number 1 person, do a couple PDI touches, and then get into my first interview for the day. Third thing for Monday is I'm going to firm up the SLDM for tomorrow, the next day, / Champions Club. Here's a little side note on that. That should also be a general focus for the entire first weekend. Like, as soon as someone hits first promotion, it's like, hey, great, hit your first promotion. You qualified for the SLDM. So make sure you don't book any demos for Tuesday at that time. And the second thing is you need to get on Jeff Gamboa's radar. Those are like the 2 things. SLDM, get on the radar. SLDM, get on the radar. So that's 1K. That's what it equals. Last thing for Monday is Rolo, right? Magic Monday. Make sure your order's on Rolo. I knew Andrew was going to have a monster office, and I was getting Snapchats from him at 11:45 on Monday night, still in his suit in his office. Oh, these kids going to crush it. And he was in the gym the next morning at 7 a.m. I was like, yeah, he's going to do well. He called me, by the way, like 3 weeks into the summer, like really upset. Like, I'm not going to hit my goals, blah, blah. I said, dude, you keep grinding the way you're grinding, just watch. He was grinding harder than I was. So I knew he was going to destroy it. So he was up driving Rolo till 11:45. You guys were in there till midnight with that 100K week. Well, it doesn't happen just from luck. Another big thing for the first weekend, this should go on the general focus. I forgot to add it to my notes, but just hit me. Constantly, and this is going to drive faster productivity like no other because they don't even know. Constantly letting them know what levels they've hit in their fast start. Okay? Every single combo, right? And on top of that, also letting them know how much money they've made. So, example, Jackson calls me first demo. Yeah, I just sold a Homemaker +8, gave the Super Shoes for free. Great. Do you know your CPO on that? It's like, oh, not really. Okay, so that means you got 1,076 CPO. Do you know what that means for you? It's like, I don't know. Be like, the first promotion thing. Yeah, you hit your first promotion. Awesome job there. But here's what's really cool. You just won the steak knife and you won the fisherman solution. When do I get that? Well, you get it for your fast start, but go ahead and on your sheet, it's the first page in your book. I want you to do a big check mark next to the steak knife, do a big check mark next to the fisherman solution. See that? Like, oh, wow, yeah. And then you can show them, hey, you're only this far away from your next prize. Because if you drive the prizes, and then here's the thing with the big check mark, they don't have to say anything, but the customer sees the check mark, they see that they're winning stuff. I don't know about you, but I forgot to check anything off. And I barely won anything to begin with, right? But I didn't check anything off, right? But I would have been checking stuff off. I would have had more awareness towards that, right? And then also letting them know, hey, I talked to a kid on Saturday and they just sold they're at $1,200. I'm like, hey, do you know that you've already made like $1,300? Or I mean, $130. You made $130 already? And how many appointments have you done? Here's the big one. Here's the big one after that. Hey, where'd you work at before this? Dude, how long would it take you to make $130 at your old job? See that? That's always a conversation I'm having first weekend. Reminding of the fast start prizes, reminding them of how much they've made so far, and then I kind of give them some perspective. Like, how many hours did you have to work at your old job to do that? Yeah, Coco's sick, right? Pretty cool, huh? Okay, and the last two things I have are general. It's a general thing that I focus on. So parents, when they do the demo with their parents. So for me, I did not sell big to my parents. I didn't sell big to my mom. I did the demo, just kind of do it, but financially, we weren't going through the best situation. See, coaching a kid normally, and here's the thing, new branches, they go into coaching mode and they do the Brian Hellman. So, hey, did you really believe that? Like your mom said she couldn't afford it. Like, did you really believe that? And you're like, well, yeah, I freaking live there, right? Like, I know what my fridge looks, you know what I mean? Like, you never, ever go there, right? That's how you lose a rep real fast. So with the parents, I always focus on what they think about the products, right? Because I've had badass kids that their parents didn't buy a lot or bought nothing, and they still ended up crushing it, right? So I didn't make them feel like crap for not selling to their parents. It's kind of an assumption. It's like, oh, your parents will obviously buy something. It's like, most of the cases, but not always, right? Not always. So, hey, what'd your parents think about the products? Hey, that's all that matters. That's all that matters. They loved it. I care. Great. Hey, they'll probably get some stuff later on. No big deal. But hey, when's your next appointment? How'd you feel about the presentation? How'd you feel going through it? Was there any parts of it you kind of feel choppy on? Hey, no big deal. It's your first one. Here, your next one. Just read over that part once or twice before your next appointment. So that's kind of how I handle a parent's demo. And then the last thing is how to handle like anytime this is like an old Matt King one. Anytime they see a Cutco owner their first weekend. And here's how I remember this. We were all doing PDI either Saturday night or something like that. And it was like a kid called in and just did an appointment with a Cutco owner. And it was me. I didn't say anything about this. And Matt's just like, oh my goodness, you just missed it. It was such a big opportunity. I just remember it because I messed up. So lesson in failure, there's no such thing because I remember that. And 4 years later, it's been part of like my DNA and how to PDI people, and I learned it from messing it up. So the whole thing is, when you see someone that owns Cutco, my first question is, how long they own it? Oh, you saw someone that had Cutco? Oh, really? How long did they have it for? Dude, the lady had it for 20 years. How old are you? Right? Wow. How's it feel to represent Cutco? Right? That's so big because it creates product conviction that was not there in the seminar, because keep in mind, our training's shorter now, and a lot of our trainings, we don't even cut food. So you have to find reasons to really to create product conviction. And the second thing it does is it gets them excited to see more Cutco owners. And you create that vibe of like, this is awesome, showing people that have Cutco, and this is what I represent. How long do they have it? How old are you? Isn't that pretty cool? Sometimes they're like, oh, like 10 years. I'm like, how old are you? Yeah, 18. Yeah, no, you're over half your age. Isn't that cool? What you think about it? Oh, well. So I kind of like strike while the iron's hot. I throw gas in the fire. Like, yep, that's what I thought. So just a quick reminder, right? First weekend's really important. And if you do it right, the rest of the fast start is a lot easier. Like if you coach them right, talk to the customers, they start to learn how to close. If you focus on creating the right habits, they always have the right habits for the rest of their career. If you show them that you're there to help them get the results they want, they're going to start getting the results they want. If you just make sure that you have a couple key focuses every day, they show up to advanced training the right way, the rest of the fast start's going to be a lot bigger than you thought. So if there's any questions, hang out. I know that it was a lot of different notes and stuff. I have a document that I'll send you right now. I'll put it on the chat, which is basically the 4 bullet points of every day. The ones that wouldn't be on there that I would add, right? And I'll just add it before I send it. But the whole thing with first promotion or like checking off fast start prizes, that is not going to be in the document. And the second thing that's not going to be in the document is I can't remember. That's it. So anyway,
let's keep it up. Let's keep Carlos up here. Let's process your 2 or 3 big takeaways from the message so far. So I thought Carlos did really well. What do you notice from the message we ran last prep to this message? What are some things you noticed? That's the first thing I'll throw out there. Ella.
This is more based on what you're doing to the rep, like what you, I guess, or your action steps to get the rep going versus what the rep has to do to hit their goals.
Right. So there's a little bit more on the management side. Okay, cool. What else is prevalent?
Yeah, I was gonna say the one that you went over was kind of an outline on everything that we had to do, and now this one's going into more depth, little tricks, questions, tips.
Yeah. So ready? Can I rephrase it?
Yeah.
So I was what you do. He was how you do it. Right. So this is what you focus on. This is how you execute and the conversations that you have. That's why we videotape these things so you can replay it and say, all right, well, Carlos, that one prep, you have all the agendas. If you're organized, you can just say, all right, well, and I'm not going to put this on any of you, but the really organized ones will have a playlist you'll save. So you just know whenever I want, whatever Carlos first weekend, and you the link. Jeff's schedule for success and the link. Whatever preps match up to information you want to be able to go to, so that you don't have to scrounge and all that extra effort. You can just say, oh, okay, I'm having a hard time with that. Click, watch that video the night before. Click, watch that video. Everything's documented so you can reprocess and relearn. Are there other parallels? Or how about just general takeaways? Brandon, go ahead.
So just creating the right habits right away. Just kind of like little phrases and verbiage and stuff like that. It's like, oh, I already knew you didn't sell. You didn't call me from page 9 and stuff like that. So,
yeah, that's good. I like the grading thing.
Yeah,
Cool.
that was my biggest takeaway.
Yeah. Okay, how about this? Why don't you pair up, and I want you to share your as many takeaways as possible, and this will simultaneously take us into the break. It is now 11:21. We'll take we'll do 15 on this one, so it's now 11:35. We'll reconvene. So debrief. Well, how about we'll just turn around here. Everyone turns around one. Tyler with Dalila. Back Brandon. Okay, so take the next 5-7 minutes. Need to use restroom. Get back fresh. 11:35. Thanks, everyone.
It was just like
All right, we are back up. If you could please virtually pop yourself back on, and also pull out your notes for the Scott Dennis PDI video. Por favor. Great video.
Do we have the PDI sheets actually still?
They're different nowadays. It's old school. So if you can pull out your Scott Dennis PDI notes.
Dang, my computer just died.
Is that the Dominican Republic flag?
It's Cameroon.
Oh.
You guys know what Cameroon is?
I don't.
Cameroon's part of Africa. It's a French colonized. Yes, sir. Yes. Oh, please give me that back.
Holy sesame.
The sheet. Who do I remember?
What Polly Sesame? What's his name?
Which one?
That's having a hard prep today.
Tony DeLoggia.
How about Tony get more sleep? All right. Well, here we go. Let me see here.
This is
Really?
Okay, Scott Dennis notes out quickly. Welcome back up. Scott had a great video. It looked like it was from 1960s, doesn't it? How young does Scott look? He's I think he's mid-20s, mid to late 20s in that one. Also, a couple of, not everyone. If you got a call with me yesterday on Thursday or Friday, you didn't get a link, and if you a couple of you from the pilot didn't get a link, but the majority of you also got your link for my calls for next week for territory update. So if you want to take 30 seconds, book one, put in your calendar real quick. Let's get that out of the way, and simultaneously pull out your Scott Dennis PDI notes.
What flag was that?
Cameroon, French colony of. Because I put 1 minute misspelled, and it's Luke, educate him. Oh, hold on. Luke, educate him. What's with the Cameroon flag? Tell him. Explain it. Oh no, it's frozen. It's freezing. Can you hear me? I can't hear you. Go ahead. Can you hear me, Luke?
Yeah. Can you hear me?
Explain the rationale behind Cameroon and why we got to Cameroon.
Well, he said 1 minuet. I asked if that was French. He said no, it's from Cameroon.
Because the African people of Cameroon parlent français, so they speak French. Soccer powerhouse, by the way. I'm just educated. I'm just here to educate.
Jeremy, you speak French, right?
Ignorez, s'il vous plaît.
Ah, je parle français un peu.
Just un petit peu.
Enough to get around, you know.
Comprende?
Hey, real quick, give me 10 seconds once you book your time. If you've booked your time, give me a thumbs up. If not, hurry up. Okay. So here's what I want to cover with the Scott Dennis PDI video. First of all, someone asked me, okay, are you still showing the Scott Dennis PDI? And I said, absolutely. If anything, for the poops and giggles of seeing Scott look so young. I mean, that's the bare minimum. Number two, there are still things that are very applicable. Okay, there's still things that are very applicable to first weekend. That's really important here. This is work. Ah.
Flip it on.
What's it? $500,000? What's this cost?
$4,000.
Minus.
3,800.
Okay. Luke, do you want one of these? I feel like I'm.
Kind of like our setup if we can just get it up a little more. Yeah, no.
Okay. As long as no one breaks our board anymore.
Kirsten, where you at?
No comments? What? Kirsten, no comment? Do you take full responsibility for breaking the board?
Yes, I'm sorry.
Okay, cool.
You break one board and then it's held against you the rest of your life.
No, just 3 years. Until you're a district manager, then we drop it.
Your team name should be the Board Breakers.
Hey. And it has begun. Here we go. They're not like brother and sister, are they? Okay. Really important for PDI. First weekend keys. Let's do this. Talk to me about some big takeaways in regards to the Scott Dennis video. And I want general themes and takeaways. And put yourself in this situation. I'm putting you with a whole bunch of brand new people that just started. They're under 3,000. They're within a month old of being with Cutco. And we promote them to be an intern or manager in training, like AKA non-TLA assistant, like super, super rookie, young. And Mike Abramowitz says, Alex, I need you to teach these guys the basics of first week in PDI. Watch the Scott Dennis video. Make sure they understand what's important. What would you share that's at the root, general objectives and really important to take from that video? Let's start there. And we'll go virtual land first, whether it's through Tally or anyone on the screen that I can see. Oscar, we have Mila, Luke, Jeremy, Luke, Rachel, Tallahassee. We'll start there. Mix it up a little bit. I'm sorry, you're all participating at the same time and it's mute. Unmute yourself.
I said, I feel like one overarching theme is if you're not managing your people, someone else is. So the importance of the daily contact and yeah.
Okay. Do you guys also know that the young lady on the role play calls is his now wife?
That was.
Oh no, his girlfriend at the time. I'm sorry, his girlfriend at the time.
The same person.
I'm pretty sure. So pretty funny story. Don't ask about that. That's weird. Okay. Other themes and takeaways from that video that would be applicable even to now. And if you're next level, you've watched it. What from the 1990s is still applicable today? Well, I had a couple. We'll go first years first. Amanda.
Well, our job as manager is to allow reps to express their goals, and our job is to help achieve.
Okay, so doesn't this go back to? You fell into my perfect trap here. Doesn't it go back to how to talk to someone from last prep? And we made it really stupid simple. Remember those notes? Who can tell me? There was like 1 or 3 or 4 or 5 steps we had on how do you coach someone? Coaching. This was one of the biggest light bulbs from before. Goes to show you the important things just sometimes. I'll give you a little hint. Right? What does Cutco do for you? Oh, good, Ellie, you got it. Go ahead.
Just like, what did they want? How does this help you?
Yeah, what do you want? How does Cutco help you? Next step.
Just taking notes, being organized, so like the web PDI.
Okay, but there's steps to this, and we're missing this one. Go ahead, Tristan. It's a good start there.
How do you get there?
Yeah, so how do you get there? We're ready? How do we get there? So what do you want from Cutco? So this is from the last prep. So if you take out all the scripts we're going to give you the next couple of months, you take out the Scott Dennis PDI, all the phrases and the magical phrases. If you understand how to speak to people, it's okay. So what do you want from Cutco, Brandon? Why are you here for the fast track? Well, I really need to make $2,000 to pay off that debt so I can get that new car that I've been waiting for. Okay, cool. So how do we get that? What was the third step? Tristan, you have the next one.
Third step, oh my goodness. Third step was, what am I responsible for?
Well, let's go. Well, you guys really don't take good notes, do you? Come on. You can go through past notes. I'm sure it's up. It's in there.
Or how can I help you achieve it?
No, now you guys are just guessing. Come on, this is the key of PDI because I can give every possible script with every badass phrase that Carlos told you to prep, but oh man, you hear Jeff how he said that, and I'll put that for you. I can give you every possible scripted out, and then you'll sit on PDI and you'll still have bad PDI. What do you want from Cutco? Why? And kind of combo, right? Okay.
Where are you at?
Yes. Who's that? Who's
Jeremy?
that? Yeah. So Jeremy, you have the steps? How many steps do you have?
Um,
Do you have it in your notes?
I have 3 detailed, but
Yeah.
some
Okay.
others.
What 3 do you have? What's the first one? I think it was 3.
What do you want? Where are you at? Okay, can we talk about how to get you to that goal?
Yeah, I probably misled you by saying 5. Number 3. What do you want? Where you at? Last one, Jeremy. Number 3.
How do we get you there? How can we get you there?
Okay, so there's no trickery. You don't have to convince people. You don't have to sell people on this. You don't have to. There's no magic phrases. And role play with me for a second. Let's go. Orlando in the back. Hey, Orlando, real quick, talk to me. So, I mean, what do you want? What do you want from this? What are you trying to do? Why do you have 7 demos set up this weekend? What's the goal? What are you trying to do?
Make some income so I don't have to ask my mom for money.
Yeah, is that important to you?
Yeah.
Is that pretty motivating?
Mm-hmm.
Cool, I get it. and how do you get there? How do you get there? What needs to happen?
You gotta make some calls. You gotta get this booked up.
Yeah, we did the numbers, didn't we? So for you to make $3,000 in sales, how many demos did we say you did that get done?
8 done.
8. And what do you have so far?
Right now I have 4.
So we're 4. Okay, can we talk about that?
Yeah.
Yeah. So why were you at 4, not 8?
I haven't made enough calls yet.
Okay. So what do we need to do to get that 8?
You gotta get the phone jam.
When's the phone jam?
Tonight.
Okay. What time can I hold you to?
You can go hold me till 6 to 9.
6 to 9. So I can hold you that, and if you don't do it, then we're not cool.
For sure.
If you don't, okay, cool. So can we agree to that?
Yeah.
Cool. So I'm gonna hold you. I'm gonna put that in my notes. I'll call you at 6. Sounds good?
Sounds good.
All right, let's make you that money so mom doesn't have to worry. See the difference in that? There's no and I couldn't repeat that word for word if you paid me. What I can tell you is I find out what the rep wants, not what we tell them they want. Let me do it another way. This is just a review from last round. Let me do another. Dalila. So Dalila, you're going for 15 appointments this weekend, right? Okay, so by the way, do you know what 15 appointments could do for you?
What?
Yeah, on averages, you could sell this much and make this much money, and then you could also get on the radar. It's a great experience, and for being pre-med, man, this could really help you. Like we tell them all the things that we want them to think, and it's not coming from who? From the rep, so it's not processed the same way. Versus, hey, Dalila, so what does why you seem to be grinding pretty hard for this weekend? Why work so hard for you? What's important?
I just really want to be the #1 person in the training class.
Yeah, you're competitive. Okay, why is being competitive good for you? How does that help you out?
I mean, I just always like to be the best. So.
Okay, so you want to be the best. Can I hold you to that? Okay, where are you at right now? Are you performing at your best right now?
I mean, I think so. I have 15 demos booked up ahead of me.
Yeah, and also can I tell you right now, you're #1 in the training group. That's pretty cool. Okay, so how do we get you and keep you #1?
Probably just book up some more demos.
Yeah, do you have some openings?
Yeah.
And where do you have openings right now? How many?
I got about 4 more.
Okay, and tell me, if you had to book those 4 more, when and where would you be booking those?
Sunday at blank.
Okay, and that's from the office or here? Or from here at the office, or could you do that from home? Either one.
I mean, I could do either.
Okay, can I take a note on that?
Sure.
Okay, and then the next one, when would you be your next phone time?
I could probably do Champions Club tomorrow.
Probably or definitely? I want either one.
Definitely.
Definitely, as in like I'll see you and I'll hold you to it. Definitely. Cool. All right. So I got you tomorrow from the office, and then tomorrow from home, and 4 more appointments. We can get you to be as competitive as you want. Is that cool? Can we make that our agreement? Meaning, can I hold you to it? Sweet. So if you don't honor it, I can give you a hard time.
Yes.
All right. Promise? Outstanding. Let's make you #1. There's takeaways from that. This is the last prep. What are you taking from that? What's important? And it's worth watching then, and that's the last prep again. What are you taking from just that conversation?
I mean, just following the script, it's really easy to get what you want and to get what they want.
Yeah, and scripts are good, by the way. I don't want to I'm on the Clearwater chat on Thursdays. Mike has this long Bible of what to cover, but that's all important stuff. Those are guidelines. And where are the steps would that fall between 1 and 4 when there's hit list of things to promote and all that? How do we get there? Like right after. Yeah. How do we get you there, Billy? The phone time, good. Can I hold you to that? Okay. Before I hold you to that, can I give you an update and a couple things that are important? Okay, so can I hold you to all that? For the most part, the same. It is worth your time. I would make a note. Not all of you are going to do it. It's worth your time to go back to the December prep. It was more in detail. Go back to the December prep. It's all on YouTube, and watch that one section where we cover how do you operate from the interest of what the rep wants, not what we want them to want. We did like 20 minutes on it. We don't have 20 minutes for this. Brandon.
I would say it just comes down to being a manager, not like a dictator.
Right, and we're not ordering people.
Yeah, people don't like being lectured to, so asking open-ended questions and letting you represent them.
Agreed.
Instead of telling them to get on the phone, you just ask like what their goals are and stuff like that, and then come up with an obvious answer that they need.
Okay. In fact, I'm going to make that an assignment. And I'll formalize it on the WhatsApp. But if you can write down. And Luke, do me a favor. Can you text this to me, please? The assignment is going to be to review the December PDI video. December PDI video. Okay. So I'm going to give, how many assignments here? I'm going to give 3 videos between now and the next prep. Okay. One will be, and Luke, you could send this, the December PDI video, the next level group first 10-day video. I'll give you all the links. Okay. So it's the December PDI video, the Tallahassee session, next level, big 3 video. You guys remember that session, next level group, big 3? What's important each day? Okay. And number 3, the Kathy Vasquez first 10-day video. So it's PDI, big 3 daily schedule, and first 10-day from Kathy Vasquez. Or Kathy Kristen, sorry. Christian. Last name is Kristen? Christian, I'm sorry. Recently married. Kristen, that's it. Sorry. I know it's Kathy Vasquez forever. Got it? Okay, here's your time. So here's what I want to cover. If you had to operate every PDI call, I want to share with you what's really important to hit on every PDI call. It doesn't matter if it's a first weekend call. It doesn't matter if Rhiannon Smith has been here the whole summer and she's probably going to be my TLA candidate. Doesn't matter. Every call has some elements of the following. Okay? Assess and adjust. Sounds familiar? What's that from? What's assess and adjust from? Quarterly review, and what we talked about in TLA. There's always a matter of, hey, or that's another way that vector people like to put it. Look back and look forward. Okay. There's also always, I'm not sure if you can see me. Okay. I'll put in parentheses, after an event, and this is an old school FC and United oldie but goodie. After events, and events can be team meeting, it can be SLC, SLD, I'm SC2, 10K Alliance meeting, meet Jeff for the first time, it can be VIP night. It's the 3 questions. Tres preguntas. You like that? Or tres preguntas. Tres preguntas. Tres preguntas are after an event. So if Maggie's my rep and she just came back from meeting the division managers, Jeff Gamboa. If Eddie's my rep and he just came back from his first conference, SC1 in Fort Myers. 3 questions you always want to ask. If you're a first year, anyone know this from first years? Okay, next level. What are the 3 questions? Go ahead.
What'd you think?
What did you think? Second question.
What are you thinking now?
Yeah, what are you thinking now?
Yeah.
And then what's the plan? Maggie, SLDM, you met Jeff Gamboa. What did you think? And here's what's great about that question. What will that question extract for you to help lead them?
It's the hot points.
Their hot point, their hot button, their excitement. Do not manipulate that. Let me give you an example. Good. Dalila, you just met Jeff, SLDM. Hey, what did you think?
Oh my God, it was awesome.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. This is where Cutco people either become manipulators or really great leaders and coaches. What are you thinking now? Hey, what about branch?
Oh.
I threw that out to her because that's what I want her to get excited about. Versus, hey, so what are you thinking now?
I mean, I just want to get on key staff.
Okay, cool. Why? And back to the other. So why is key staff good for you? What can that do for you?
I mean, it'll just put me with the top people in the office, and it'll put me in line first for opportunities.
Okay, so I'm going to make a note that she's excited about getting on key staff. Okay, cool. Hey, what's the plan? And the plan always comes back to what? More calls, more demos, more sales. Get on the radar. Hey, Rhiannon, SC2, what I told you. Was it worth the investment? What did you think? This is a chance to debrief. Okay, what are you thinking now? Whatever they say on step 2, question number 2 is what they're most excited about. So help them. But it's okay for next level, a little advanced here. We'll role play this again. So Dalila, key staff, that's what you're thinking now? Cool. Can I ask you a question? Sure. He mentioned branch. I'm just curious. After you get what they want, I'm just curious. What do you think about our TLA program? Have you thought about that? That's a phrase that all great vector managers use. Have you ever thought about? Have you ever thought about branch? Oh, I couldn't do that. You should think about it. You're more talented than you think. Have you ever thought about branch? Oh, yeah, I'd love to be a branch. Oh, cool. Can we talk about that for a second? But always start with not what you want them to be excited about. So 3 questions. What did you think? What are you thinking now? And what's the plan? One more time. What do you think? What are you thinking now? And what's the plan? Yeah, it's always coming down to demos. 3rd, what's hot? Not necessarily with them. Who can tell me next level what that means? Most all PDI calls involve what's hot, other than Eddie and other than Dalila?
Office sales.
Office sales, or what is happening. Because, ready? If I'm sharing all the things that are going really well, if I'm doing really well as well, how do I feel? Good, because that's the standard. That's what happens. Hey, the Spartans, we were always selling. And in my Metro Miami, we're always popping sales. Or to be articulate to the generation, we're making sales up in cheer. Okay? We out cheer. Dropping bombs. Okay. But that's right. Let's say I'm not doing really well. Let's say I'm not doing really well. But I hear all these great results of what Rhiannon said, what's hot. What am I creating? What feeling, what tempo and atmosphere am I creating for that rep if I'm here, if I'm performing here?
Get better.
Elevate them.
Number 1.
Get better.
Number 2. Elevate them and let them know, hey, we sell here. It's not actually normal when you're not selling all the time, and we can help you because everyone else gets here. Oh, well, I'm not selling. Well, we can help you because everyone else is up here. You guys see that? You can create a tempo that your office is almost like the Silver Cup champion, and you could be selling $5,000 a week because there's always sales happening. The worst thing you can do, I've done this in talks before. Eddie, what's going on?
Doing well.
Yeah, ask me back what's going on. Hey, Eddie, how are you?
I'm great, sir. How are you?
Nothing, just hanging out, nothing going on really. Can you imagine saying that as a manager? Or asking what's going on. Hey, Eddie, how are you?
I'm great. How are you, Jeff?
Nothing, just hanging out, chilling, or just taking a lunch break. Anytime you create the tempo. Oh, Eddie, it's crazy. Actually, before you know what's going on right now? Did you hear? Oh, we're popping off today. Here, listen to this. Hey, how are you doing? Well, I'm having a hard time. Okay, well, we'll help then. Or me too. Hey, we're gonna add you to the list. So what's hot? Assess, adjust. Okay. WIN. This is where you help the rep prioritize. You've seen this in agendas if you're a manager. What's WIN? Oh my gosh. What's win? What's important now? That's that hit list. Ella and anyone in Clearwater. That's the Mike Abramowitz long list. You need that. You need to have that because reps don't know what to think. Just like Carlos said, they don't even know where they're at for their fast starts. You have to get them to check the damn box. Go check it. Oh, cool. They should know this, right? Help guide them what's important. 5, 3-day window. 3-day window. Define the 3-day window for me from the last prep. Everyone heard this. What's the 3-day window, Ella?
Today, tomorrow.
Today, tomorrow, next. TTN. Oh, actually, no more now. No more acronyms. Sorry, we have too many. Today, tomorrow, and next. Okay. Today, tomorrow, next. Also, like stats. Like how many update demos? When's your next demo? Put them into the books. Okay. And then of course, action, agreements, action and agreements. Like what action they're going to take from the call, what agreements you set. And the next event or next call. Okay, so Ree, I'll talk to you. What time? That's right, 3 o'clock after your appointment. So Eddie, don't forget. So tomorrow, like one more time. What time do I expect to see you for phone jam?
Right there.
What time?
5 o'clock.
5 o'clock, no later. Cool.
No later.
That's our agreement. All right, cool. Always end with when I want to speak to you next. Who's ever had a one-on-one call with me? Before we get off, what do we always schedule? The next call. It's coaching 101 on the list of things. You always schedule the next call before you end. So I'll stop there. Any questions? All right. Any add-ons from the vets?
I love the reminder of when are we speaking again? When are we?
Yeah, so book the next call. Miss Amanda, since you're already on it, can I make you the lister and poster again?
Okay.
Thank you. I'll give you 10 cents.
It's okay, you can add it to my
There you go. Brandon, go ahead.
I would say it's just very easy for managers to get in the motion and go through the motion and just collect stats and not really just dive in and see what like you can really help and grow your people.
Yeah, and the majority of this is going to happen. And I'll put this Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Fridays. Most of this is going to happen definitely on Tuesdays. Across the division, our most meaningful conversations will happen, and lengthiest conversations that are called coaching calls will happen on Tuesdays. In Clearwater, they do them Thursday. Most other offices, we do them Friday. Again, one's not better than the other. We might end up doing both, but depending on the size of your team. If you don't have a huge team, I'd say less than 50 people on your team, you're going to pick one day, and more likely than not, it's going to be Thursday or Friday. I don't like Thursday because I want you to get in mode for training. That's part of my rationale. But you could do Thursday. If you have a bigger team, you might need 2 days to get this done. Yeah, we call this benchmark PDI. Okay, benchmark PDIs because we want to talk to them about where they're at for the week and the benchmark that they could get to by the end of the week. And why is Thursday, next level, why is Thursday or Friday a great time to have a benchmark conversation with Eddie?
Weekend.
Yeah, before the weekend. That's where sales pop off. What's the objective of Tuesday's conference call?
Wednesday phone jam.
Wednesday phone jam and attendance. What's the objective of Thursday, Friday phone calls? Sunday. Yeah, weekend. Questions, comments, any other add-ons from the vets? Okay, let's do this. What I like to do for PDI, you can take a note for this. So for the February session, we're going to cover more ways of organizing the PDI. So systems, tracking, demo grids, web PDI. It's pretty simple. Then in the March prep, we're going to unveil the full divisional PDI program from, okay, everyone in United, this is when we do our live conversations Tuesday and Friday. Everyone in the division, this is our web PDI program. Everyone in the division, this is how we do WhatsApp. We're going to give you all the templates of the copy and paste stuff that you don't have to think about. You just have to have in your schedule organized. So when a rep hits 1,000, copy that and send that. Done. Like it's clockwork. And how many of you were here last year in United, in running office in United? Do you feel the sense of organization in the systems? We threw half of that together that summer, just because we were 2 different divisions. But now we're going to have a whole summer, a whole year of experience. It gets really exciting. So here's what I like to do. I like everyone to find a partner and move closer to the partner, and it can't be someone next to or behind you or within one. It's kind of, what's that, mind sweep? You can't be like one person around that number. So yeah, move real quick, switch around. Find someone. Okay. And if you're virtual, just get up, turn around, and sit back down.
I don't care. I just need someone that doesn't sit next to me.
Hey, so
Nice. Nice. It makes sense. All right, quickly. 10 seconds. Ideal. I tried to. Let's grab a seat. Yeah, sit down. But so here we go. Here's the number one. So think about Carlos's message. Think about my message from December. Think about this PDI message. Think about the 3 or 4 steps that none of you could get, and Jeremy almost got, but not quite. Right? What are we trying to teach you in those lessons? Specifically, let's take the one that where Ella answered it first, and then Tristan got the next one. It wasn't quite exactly the same thing, and then Jeremy chimed in. What am I trying to instill in you during? What's that?
How simple it is. Just
Okay, so simplicity, for sure, simplicity. There's one more. It's like a phrase, or it's a concept of. By doing that, I'm not giving you all the words. What are we trying to drill, Dalila?
I think you're really just trying to show us how to think. About
How to
it.
think. There's another way to explain that in a technical sense, like a business sense. That's right. Psychology. There's a third way. So how to think, psychology. And ready? I want you to be a blank and no DMs, no vets. A blank-driven manager. Okay. Ready? Money, right? Power. Just kidding. No. Hello. Lighten up. Some of you don't get enough sleep.
Habits. Objectives. Yeah, I said that.
Some have said, yeah. I want you to be an objective-driven manager. Here's how you know someone's not an objective-driven manager. I'll hear a lot of them at your banquet. So, Jeff, what's the thing you say for? What's the phrase that? What's the one thing you can do to get them to? That's someone who's looking for shortcuts. Who's looking for? You guys are looking for what to do, not why to do. If you understand why to do, your version of what's supposed to be said will come out. Okay? Are there templates for what to say to a rep on PDI? Yes. But then if you're just reading it and because you had those memorized, well, number one, it's not objective driven. Number two, what does that make you? Go ahead, Eddie. What does it make you? It makes you a robot. It makes you a robot. Okay? So this is just a list of what needs to get hit. But the objective, sorry, these are the list of objectives that you hit on the call. When Carlos was doing first week in PDI, he gave you some really cool phrases, and that's why I noticed he didn't hand the handout out and you guys read it to you. It's there later. It's the objective. After this, in the next break, we're going to debrief, and then we're going to cover training objectives. I'm going to show you the schedule for training. What's the objective of each talk? That way you don't get caught up in this crap. Here's the crap you get caught up in. Yeah, but I can't say it quite like the way Brian Herman does in his video. The way when Jeff, there's no way you're going to do that because that's years of experience. What Brian Herman, what Carlos has on his video, what I have on my videos is I understand what I'm trying to get done. And whether it's someone's charisma, really great high level vernacular or vocabulary, someone's swag, however you want to call it. You don't need any of those to do well because you'll have someone really quiet and meek and they're crushing it. You've gone to the national trip, some of you, and you meet the managers that are shipping, you go, what? I met the number blank. I won't say what number so you don't look her up. I met one of the managers in Costa Rica last year and I went, okay. And then Heidi came up and she goes, who is that? I said, that's competing with Andrew. Wow, good for her, that's what she said. Because these people understand, any one of you can understand it's objective. So take out your confidence because you can say things a certain way. Take confidence in that you do things, you know what you're saying. Give me a light bulb if you understand that. That's really, really important. So what does that also play to? I want you to be an objective-driven manager, a solution finder, okay, composed leader. You're objective driven, you're solution finder, you're composed. We respond, not what? React. One more time, we respond, not react. Yeah, there's no rat in the cage. You know what rat in cages? Like they're scrolling around. No squirrel. You've seen the movie Up? Squirrel! Or what? Like just calm, cool, collected, duck on water. This has to do with whether, and I know this is a PDI message. You could watch the last PDI talk at the prep, and it's almost the same message. You got PDI objectives. Next is the training and advanced training objectives. Carlos gave you first 10-day objectives. Compose, solution finder. Right. And embrace. If you really wire yourself, every time things get hard, railed, it's exciting. Mike Abramowitz be the best. You didn't get to say this, so sorry, Mike. I said, Mike, you were. He used this term, so I could words into his mouth. Call. I said, Mike, I know you're frustrated with the push because a lot of your candidates didn't come through the way you thought they would. Some of you are watching this call. And he said, actually, no, Jeff. I'm really glad that the push didn't go the way that I thought because it really showed me who really should be on my staff and not. And it showed me who really was what I thought they were. And I mean, he took this positive slant. And Mike, I mean, you guys know Mike's really engaged right now. You could think for what he thought was going to happen and didn't happen, he could call that frustration. He puts that as motivation. So that's what I mean here. When Carlos has to move and start from scratch zero, right, that can be, oh, that's frustrating. I've got all this stuff going on, or you can get really excited. There are all these things. When I call with Orlando, when he's not getting the training pop he wants, he's driven to find out the damn answers. I mean, that was a very compelling call. So, and we got that so far. So this is going to lead into what we call fishbowl scenarios. So you'd imagine there's a fishbowl. There's a whole bunch of random scenarios that are in there. You pull it out, and you have to react to it. Think pageant. Yeah, think pageant. Like you don't know what the question's going to be. All right. So let me throw a few out. Everyone point to your partner. Point to your partner. And virtually determine your partner. Okay. So I'm going to give you a scenario, and I'm going to put on the music. I want you to talk about how you would handle the scenario. Use your objectives. What would you say? What would you say to the rep, or what would you do if it's a different scenario? So I'll do some easy ones first. Okay. Okay. You're doing PDI on Saturday. A rep has gone 0 for 4. Says the job's not for her. Job's not for him. Okay. 0 for 4, job's not for me. Role play that conversation. Partner 1 goes first, partner 2 goes second. So far, so good? Understand the question? What happens when someone calls you Saturday? They're maybe 5 hours into the job. It's 11 a.m. or it's 1 p.m. and already 4 hours, 5 hours, they've determined this is not for them. Ready? Figure out who's going first. Okay. Did anyone feel like they had a strong conversation or heard a strong conversation? I want to share. Maggie, go ahead.
I heard a strong conversation. So the way Jackson put it is, I didn't even think about how I was going to say this. He got their mindset off of the no sales is 0 for 4 and just put them back on the numbers and got them to see the longer picture, the bigger picture of getting on the phone, making more calls. How many demos are they going to book for making so many calls? Their average sale times the sales they're going to make, what they're going to make.
So without asking, and I'm glad you didn't bring up what he said. Instead of focusing on what Jackson said, she focused on what he got done. What did he get done? He got off of what and on what? Okay, that's like yeah, of course, but that's right. Oh, it feels so good to hear. No, but he also got the focus off of what? Yeah, any result and and focus on effort and the right work. It's 1 minute manager, probably page 30, like the first few pages, the 1 minute praise, catch people doing something right and acknowledge right away. Because if they're new and they're like little eggs and you have to get them to each basket, what are we doing? We're recognizing things we want to see them do for success. Good. Thank you. Thank you. Other people that heard a really strong PDI call want to share, or you share yours? How about from first years who've never really done anything like this before? What did you notice? Some of you have done coaching calls, so it's not as new.
It's really easy when you're focused on the objective and not what you're saying.
Yeah, and some of you, if you've already done coaching calls, remember your first few? I think I'm so great at PDI. I think I'm the master of PDI because I'm the master of killing reps from the first, like multiple years of just reps have quit because of the wrong thing I said or didn't do it the right way. Okay, scenario number 2. Ready? Scenario number 2. You're having a conversation and you're bringing up with someone to sign up and come to SC1, and they have resistance. So I don't know if I'm going to make it or can make it to SC1. And as you know, if they don't, and this is in March, if you don't know, all your reps make a list, and all the people that went to SC1, put them above a line, and all the reps don't make it to SC1 that are on your team, that go below the line, and 90% of the people below the line won't be with Cutco in a month. 90%. How many of you were at SC1 that was your first conference? Do you have a lot of people from your team here from then? You're an exception, Giovanni, because your training class was just out of this world. Like those 2 in the seminars. Who's still here from your training?
Malcolm, no, not a lot.
I know, not New Year's, okay.
Yeah, it was the one before with me.
Yeah, okay. So you got a rep who is saying, Ree, I don't know if I can make it to the conference, or to go all the way out there. I know it's free and everything, but just I got to go all the way to Fort Myers, which is not that big of a deal. Got it? Okay. Let the other person go first. Ready? stop for a second. Did anyone hear or felt like they delivered a really positive conversation, objective-driven conversation? Tell me about it. Eddie.
So I kind of like, we tried making it a little simpler, and just kind of like the objectives of the scenario. We kind of just looped it back to like, what do you want and help you out? Where are you at? And then the selling point to the stump speech for SC1 till we won't have it. When you're really trying to fight that resistance, like, well, what are you looking for? How does this impact you? Why would it be even worthwhile for you? And then convincing them off of it.
Yeah.
I'm showing them that.
You know, Mike and I were sharing a great conversation to Eddie's point, because he said, what do you want? Essentially, you know, what can you get from this? Mike has a rep that was contemplating going to the conference or not. We all have reps like that. And some of the reps were actually you on this meeting, which is weird and shouldn't be the case, by the way. But there are conflicts and events, and you just say, look, and I love this because it's genuine and it's really objective driven. I'm not going to tell you what to do. I'm going to tell you what happens if you do go to blank event and what I know will be great for you. And I can also tell you what doesn't happen if you miss it. Okay. And then you're a big boy and big girl. You have to make a decision. I want you here. I would like to see you there. And I think it's the next part of the process. And I think you just have to be able to do that, because whenever you raise your hand if you're a branch and you've done this, you got off a call and you're like, man, I really felt like I was just telling that person what to do. You know, I've done it all the time. And you know that never feels good on our end. So can you imagine on their end? Okay. Anyone else heard a good one? Is anyone a vet here, run one or more offices, or been an assistant or dom in an office and thinking, I need to talk to more reps. I've been out of it a little bit. Like these should be easy conversations. But if you're not in the mix, it may take some time. So that's why you want to get involved in an office. We'll do one more, and then we'll actually go to break, and then we'll wrap up. I think we're gonna get early. We'll wrap. Oh, surprise, right? Do you guys ever look at the agendas now and go, yeah, we're really not gonna get all of that. We'll get out like a. Do you guys ever assume we're getting out early? Don't do that, because then when we go on time, you'll be mad. Okay. Last. I'm sure I'm mad.
Working with Matt.
Yeah, you're used to going later. So.
I mean, potato. Okay, ready? So watch this. So new scenario. First day of training. Ree, can I talk to you? They pull you aside. Hey, Ree, I want to talk to you. Hey, yeah, I just got a text from my friend, and they're sending me these websites and they're just telling me this is a scam. I wanted to be upfront with you because I just want to dip, but dip meaning not show back up. I just wanted to make sure that, you define dip. I just wanted to dip out and not show up again. And I just wanted to, I'm a little, I don't know. I just know how to feel right now. So you get one of those. Okay? Go at it. Ready? let's stop here before we go to break. How about big takeaways from just these last few role plays and talking about objective driven? Let's do that for a second before we go to break. What are you guys taking from this last section? Tyler.
Premeditated conversation. Don't just dive into it blindly head first.
Yeah, be intentional, right? Don't just chit chat. Oh.
One of the things that, especially with doing a good job of kind of, for me, especially like in demo, like you already know what you're gonna say, like everything from objective, everything's there. I'm not really objective, so he's kind of doing a good job of walking. Okay, what's the objective? And now go through the approach. It's kind of what you said, like not just chit chat, like know why you're gonna say it, and then you kind of
And there are also so many more advanced ways to do that later, like asking permission and then creating agreements. But really, just we handled something specifically here. Brandon.
Just like there's different ways to skin cat. Just like
Yeah, there's different ways to say it, right? Just because Carlos says it. Yeah, I love skinning cats. Wait, I'm so sorry. I had a cat.
Skinned it.
All right. Hey everyone, let's do this. So the last, and I want to get your attention so we can get out of here. We're going to cover objectives of training and how to learn the training, and then we're also going to do a brief overview of Advanced Training 1. Okay, then we're going to do a calendar review, assignment review, ready to rock and roll. So let's take 10 quick. It's now 12:36. We'll do 12:46 on the dot. And do me a favor, can we get back so we're seated and ready to roll in 10, not get back in 10? Is that cool? Just want to make sure on time. Got it? All right. Thanks.